no.
Oh, yes. Unfortunately, we are back. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm so sorry. I can't help myself. All I can say is welcome back to Low Energy Videos. I'm once again joined by Krendar. That's sick freak.
It's me again.
It is. Oh, Krendar, I hope you're doing well, buddy.
No, you.
It's me again. Tism. We are. I see chaos has corrupted your voice. You're slowly turning into Hellbent. I approve.
What?
Oh no, you're
It
turning
was an
into.
accident.
No, it's worse. You're turning into Shabisky. Huh? What? Oh, come on.
That'd be far worse. I'd much rather be Hellbent.
Yeah, I think most people would want to
Excuse
be
me.
Hellbent.
I would much rather be Hellbent.
Yeah, most people want to be Hellbent just for that voice. Imagine him
I
ordering.
find it amusing that
Imagine him
people
ordering a
generally
pizza.
don't believe that that's his natural voice.
I know. And when he said his actual, like, his day job, he works at an off-license, a liquor store, I'm like, well, yeah, that makes perfect sense. I can so totally see him talking about, like, varieties of whiskey and shit like that.
I think he's a bourbon guy.
Mm. I wonder what it's like ordering him ordering a pizza or something, or maybe reading a child's like book, like a like a
Oh, that would be awesome.
oh yeah, what's it
Reading a story to like the kindergarten kids.
Yeah, he's reading like the Bernstein Bear, one of the books, like the Messy Room.
Yes. Do you think when he calls the pizza joint to order a pizza, do they just automatically think he's pranking them?
Okay, buddy. Yeah, right. So what are you, like a 14-year-old who's got some weird voice alteration? Am I on YouTube? Would you like to be? I can make that happen.
Yeah. You can be.
I haven't actually seen Hellbent and from Hellbent in a long while now.
It's been a little bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, I was sub to him.
I want to get on an episode with him at some point because I feel like we'd get along. He's a gamer, he's a big nerd.
Get
I'm a big nerd.
Get what's his name? Get Skep Talk on at the same time, and you'll overpower the smooth skins with your bearditude.
I mean, we've done that a couple times already.
Yeah, you were
just not with Hellbent at the same time as well.
Yeah, but you haven't been on with Billy and Ben. If you were the other two on DP, you would just overwhelm, and then the neckbeard balance would be overthrown, and the neckbeards would rule.
That's true. I mean, you say the smooth skins, but that's really just Billy.
He's so smooth, isn't he?
He is, but like Ben's got at least a bit of a beard going.
Ben's got stubble, but that makes him like a class trader.
No,
that makes him a razor trader. Razor trader.
he's got more than stubble, but definitely not a smooth skin either. He's a hybrid.
Can't really call him a smooth skin though, can we? Babyface? Maybe we can call him babyface.
That's what I'm saying. No, he's a step above that.
At least he's not like. Do you remember when you were like in high school and all the dudes got their first beards in and they looked like fucking pathetic with their little mustaches?
Yeah.
There's some people who.
But I thought we weren't talking about Shabisky anymore, though.
He's if we're gonna be spending, we'll just turn this whole stream into just making fun of Shabisky.
No, that's what the morning wood is. You don't need to do that. But actually, that happened a couple times with I was on morning wood a couple times along with Skep Talk, and they always had it arranged that the two guest cameras were at the bottom. So it's like the bottom two cameras were like both guys with beards and funny hats.
And then you got Missy and Pimp to kind of balance it out. No, that wouldn't work as a reference. Hey, Metal Monkey's finally happy with the audio. Audio sounds fine. You're both at about the same level. Yay! Progress.
Hold on, let me get out a pen and write this down on the calendar. How you doing, Metal Monkey?
The world is a better place now that I simply lowered down the bar down to like a quarter.
For the game, you mean?
No, for the The audio, my audio.
For your audio.
Yeah,
okay.
I think that was really it. Speaking of the game, we should really get to it. We've been looking at Typhon and all these fruity pebbles flying by endlessly.
They're mesmerizing, and it's a good thing I just had breakfast, or this might be making me hungry. Actually, you know what reminds me more of than Fruity Pebbles is, remember that candy Nerds?
Oh, we have Nerds still over here.
These asteroids are shaped like Nerds.
I always loved how they came in a little box and you got like 2 sets of them. Yeah, like one little door on one hand and one little door on the other.
Yeah, the 2 flavors, yeah.
Yeah, and you combine them both. Did you ever put them into cola? That was some sugary sugar.
No, people usually do that with
Pop Rocks?
With Pop Rocks.
Yeah, we don't have Pop Rocks as much over here. One thing that we also used to do was, did you ever get those lollipops on the sherbet, the bag of like sherbet, and you'd put it in, and that was something we did, and you'd get you get soda, and you'd pour out all the sherbet into the soda and mix it in. And how my teeth are still in one piece is beyond me, but it might explain my waistline.
might.
All right, so the bloody.
Again, everybody's a hyper little bastard at that age, is burning it off constantly. So.
Yeah, every one of us. Right. It just cuts to me as a child, and I'm about the same weight, and I'm just playing an older computer like games, and like I see a bunch of kids playing outside with playing football, and I look at them, pathetic. You'll never have a YouTube channel. I will be king of the future.
I've predicted the existence of YouTube 20 years before it existed.
Yes, and I was too lazy to capitalize on it.
I know, right? I wish I'd gotten in on it sooner, but oh well.
Yeah. We got Pop Rocks, but they're called something else. Do we? The game, we can talk in game at the same time. The Bloody Hand, Sight of Blood Ravens, yeah, theoretically indeed. Heroic defeat of Tyranid High. Oh, fuck you, Thaddeus! That better not be you who did that, Krendar. Wait, where would you now? We need Tarkus. We need Tarkus in our life.
I can't edit your squad. What are you talking about?
All right, but he was there. And
actually, I don't know if I can or not. I've never tried.
Yes, you can. So in theory, you could have.
The game always wants to hurt us like that, you know. So.
It does. It wants to mock us. Anyway, so the Blood Raven heroic defeat and the Tyranid heroic defeat of the Tyranid High Fleet via with the rotting remains of Xenos Imperial shrines, celebrating the victory. Now marquee areas. Cooler. God, they move fast for a jungle planet. Oh yes, I'm Gabriel Angelos. You know who my favorite director was? It was Hitchcock. And was Churchill your favorite politician? No, it was Stalin. Oh, thank you.
He actually changed his name when he joined the Space Marines. His first name was Gabriel Hitchcock.
So that's what happened to him. I always just thought he died for being a fat fuck, but he went on well into the 41st millennium. Ooh, have you seen the rewards? You might not be interested in them, but a multi-melta for Davian, but more importantly for me, Data's Tomb for the Force Commander Thaddeus and Avitus. It's more melee, but still. I'll give that to my main dude.
All right.
Very little. Tyranid destruction of the land exposes ancient Eldar ruins. Maybe what draw them here on such numbers. We could ask them, but they would just give us a bunch of Chinese riddles. Why'd they have to be Chinese, sir? We're Space Marines. We have to be racist by default. Oh, all right.
What are you talking about? They're incredibly diverse.
Yeah.
There's
humans.
There's
humans, and then
there's the planet that's basically Space Norway. There's a planet that's Space Egypt.
Dude, what are you saying? They're entirely made up out of stereotypes.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
They're completely made up.
But they have all of the stereotypes, and that's why they're diverse.
Really? Where's the trans marine, huh? Where are the Space Marines who are mentally challenged?
That's the Sisters of Battle.
Oh, don't! Is that? Oh no! Don't ruin good things. But maybe
after it's the tech priests of Mars. They're trans robot.
Hell, I watched an episode where Vosh went after Arch for that very topic. One of them identified themselves as Zur, and Arch was not happy. And Vosh is like a big.
Hold on, what? Back up. One of who identified as what?
Oh, sorry. So Arch got pissy because in a book, one of the tech priests of Mars came out and called itself a Zur.
Oh fuck! Like the ZIR, yeah.
Yes, and Arch was like they wouldn't care about gender, and Vosh saw that and made a video in response where he himself, I didn't know this, but Vosh is a big 40k fan, but he came out and said that he thinks why would they care either way if they call themselves Zur or not, and both are technically right and both are technically wrong. It does seem a bit ham-fisted that one would just call itself Zur, but at the exact same time,
yeah,
it might as well call itself number 45A-D as a gender.
I mean, you don't use terms like Zur unless you're some sort of weird, I don't know, gender warrior.
I've actually never
SJW something or other.
I've never met a Zur. I've never met well, I think I've only ever met two genders. I've met plenty of trans people. I've never actually met any.
I know a strangely large number of trans people, but I mean, I've
never actually ran across.
This Zur thing doesn't make any sense to anybody.
I've learned to take each one of these things in turn and like process it and then put it into a pile that says totally bullshit or it's just above my pay grade to get. And I'm more the left than the right, so to speak, in that regard.
I feel like I'm on this particular topic. I feel like I'm with Arch on this one.
And
like I don't see why a tech priest would call themselves Zur.
Then again, why does a tech priest who's been completely ripped apart by technology and put back together, why would they call themselves a he or a she? They don't have any.
Well, you got to call yourself something, and you might as well stick with the pronoun you've used all your life.
That's what I've always thought. But Vosh,
that's just more efficient.
Yeah.
Why make up a new nonsense one?
Well, why even have any form of gender whatsoever? You know, they're post-gender society.
They pretty much don't, but just for the pronoun.
Watching a lot of Mechanicus, I noticed the feminine tech priests still have a little bit of femininity to them, but like especially the Skitarii leader, she's got like tits still, but which really like do they have like sensors strapped in them at that point? Because that would be efficient.
I mean, I don't know if the Skitarii are really
100%. No,
as robotified as the other tech priests tend to be.
But then you've got the Calixis woman who is. She just talks constantly about hunting and shit like that, and
she's scary.
She is. She's. I really like her, but she's kind of dull in some respects because everything she responds is just about
she's a one-trick pony.
Yeah, she's kind of like an unfun version of the Doom Marine. Rip and tear.
Yeah.
Woo! We're actually slaughtering these motherfuckers for once. No, just. Like very, very slowly mowing shit down. Actually getting something done.
Yeah, that's because it was a small groups right now. Let's not get too cocky as yet.
No, I mean, hell, we still lost it, dude. But, yeah, I don't know, like,
I mean, losing one squad guy doesn't really count for much.
I'll tell you, I have actually. Okay. Hold on. There you go.
Back over here.
There you go. Let's bring up who's it to kill what's it? Wood. God, I love.
I didn't realize there was gonna be that many guys lurking behind the guys in front.
Yeah, with the Eldar, I noticed they put a lot in, which is a bit strange for a dying race.
Yeah, you'd think they'd be more about the elite units, right?
Yeah. Like, Guardians, like, why the hell do they not use Guardians for anything other than, like, guarding shit? Because, A, it's in their name, and B, they're not very useful. Like, they just get mowed down in their crappy paper armor.
That's true.
Firing little...
I think I'm going to have to remember every mission to set Jonah to a ranged stance, because he keeps defaulting to hybrid.
And as for
and I've got him on a ranged weapon. So.
Yeah, same. Well, Honey Tits, which he's got a kick-ass chain cannon, but the thing is, he's got very little spec into guns. And by the end of this, he'll have very little spec into guns.
I think the game should default your stance based on what weapon you've got. Like if I've got a force staff, just put me on ranged. There's no reason
how about something better? How about you could set it before? I mean, you could equip their weapons. Why not just equip a bunch of other shit too?
That's true, but I think also it should just default to whatever's intelligent, you know, which it doesn't. Hang on. Oh, that's right. I can't use my big single target on these guys because they're not living.
Hey, but you did that last time. You got to remember the big... wait until we were running across Tyranids or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Damn, Turkey. You've been losing boys during every fight. Well, we'll save some time. And smashy smash, Downey down, and Robert Downey Jr., and away you go. I was actually playing Mechanicus before starting, and I was really enjoying. I really enjoy like the variety that each tech priest brings because you can make them looking so different and so strange to each other.
Yeah, and you can really spec them out differently too.
I love that acid axe. I've had them all equipped with that. That causes 1 corrosive damage after each hit. And if you've ever seen the Mandalore Gamer video on Mechanicus, he gives you like a little tip that you can basically farm cognition points and heal and cause damage all at the same time if you've just spec'd it in just the right way. And this is like one dude. You don't even need like canticles. Of course, there's an equipment to make canticles like constant. You know, like you can for free. You get like 1 free canticle.
You know what I really love is just the way they preserve the feel of things so well. Like I love the fact that the game rewards you for getting your servitors hurt.
Yeah, how it gives you
like they're there literally to not necessarily get destroyed, but get damaged by everything.
Yes, you got to prioritize, and hell, like even like really advanced weapons aren't actually troops aren't like they're not incredibly desperately like needed and protected. You don't need to worry too much about them because if they die, all right, that sucks. But at the end of the last mission, just spam everything you have, hurl them at the enemy. Because you're just going to suffer a little bit of Blackstone loss, and that's about it. It's the tech priest you got to worry about.
Yeah, but I mean, like, also, it's like a double whammy, because, like, not only are the servitors the only troop you have that's free to deploy, so therefore, like, you've got unlimited fodder, but also you get your whatchamacallit? What do they call that point again? You mentioned it earlier, and I forgot already. Yeah, you get your cognition points whenever they take damage. So not only are you encouraged to deploy them, you're encouraged to throw them out front of the battle.
Hiya, Bill.
Hey, Bill.
On the Epic Games Store, they're giving away GTA 5 and $10 discount coupon if you get Division 2 for free. You can use the coupon right now. If you want it. Yeah. The thing is, I don't want to own GTA 5 for like a week, and then it's taken away from me.
No, it's permanently free.
Oh, shit, really?
So Epic Games Store does this thing where every week there's a game that you can get for free.
Yeah, but it's not something as big as GTA, is it?
It doesn't matter.
Oh, wow. Well, that does change some things. Maybe I will pick it up then.
The thing is, every game they give you for free every week is free. You keep it forever as long as you claimed it during that week.
Yeah, I know that.
Also, don't destroy the shrine up there.
I know. So I'm not going to fire the Cyclone mission all right. No, I'm just going to take out the troops around it. I'll actually don't use it, and that will like cause like an area of attack.
Well, I'll aim the area attacks away from the middle. Is what I will do.
Yeah, let's focus on.
Because my default weapon is an area attack, as you just saw.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, there we go.
There we go.
Okay, fantastic.
Cleansed. All right, let's go back down.
Oh, look at this time! I'm just looking at the Terminators. Just looking at the Terminators. The figure, like the statue, and it is so fucking like his arms look so cute and squidgy.
They kind of do. Yeah.
He's got baby arms. What the hell?
See what you mean.
It's like in the comic, the Blood Raven comic. There's one dude who has like a chainsaw for an arm, very sort of Evil Dead vibe. But the thing is that they made the chainsaw tiny on him, so he's got this tiny little like, take my strong arm. Oh.
You ever see? There's this webcomic. I haven't really read much of it, but it's called Sister and Wolf.
That name does sound familiar. Talk about it, and it might ring a bell.
I've only read the intro to it, so I don't really know a lot about it. But it's about a sister of battle and a space wolf that are for some reason stranded somewhere together, and they end up falling into some weird chaos portal that drops them into Warhammer Fantasy. So he's the guy. So they're the only people there with any level of technology to them. So that's basically the premise of the comic.
That's kind of cool.
I don't know what happens after that.
Is it canon or fan
probably
fiction?
Not?
Yeah, because I know there are.
I think it's a fan thing.
Yeah, I know there are occasional nods towards fantasy that set them in the, if not in the same universe, then in similar universes. Like there's a lot of.
I don't think it can be the same universe because I think they have Slaanesh, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Who should not exist until modern times.
That's right, but then again, it's not all the way around that. It's just having the fantasy world being set on a feudal world. Like that's how you just get around that. You could. That's
true.
Like that's not meant to be Earth.
And the bright wizards and stuff are just a form of psychers, yeah.
Yeah, but it's not.
And
they're not in the same.
It would have to be a world somewhere that the Imperium of Man hasn't discovered yet.
No, I remember now. What are they called? 40k Theories talks about a book where a Grey Knight wanders around the Eye of Terror, and he sees different realities and goes to different worlds, and one of which he enters a world that is basically describing Sigmar. And that's these are worlds that almost were or almost are. They're potential worlds. So the fantasy world is apparently a world that never was, which is
doesn't make any sense.
It's chaos, so it's a warp, so it doesn't need to make sense. But at the exact same by default,
that's fair. I can't argue with that.
But also, it kind of does, because a world that never was still can be a fantastically detailed universe that just ended in disaster.
Well, if it ended in disaster, that doesn't mean it never was. It just means it isn't anymore.
Now you're getting into the concepts of time where the warp itself fucks over. Like, I like the idea of it being like a neighbor or like a distant cousin of the 40k universe.
Or it's just like a separate timeline.
Yeah.
Essentially.
But with enough of the universe, like the lore changed. I mean,
yeah.
Like enough of the, especially like.
It's a separate timeline that turned out very differently.
Now, of course, in reality, it's because there's a chaotic item that goes into the thing once the time is. But obviously, the main reason is, of course, back in the 80s, they didn't think that far ahead at Games Workshop, did they? What was it? Oh, speaking of nerd stuff, did you see the trailer for what's it? Tsushima or something like that? It's called.
I don't know if there's a new one, but I saw the original announcement.
When was that? At E3 a while back?
Yeah, it was like a year or two ago.
No, this is new. This is like came out today, and it looks good.
No.
It looks.
The other one looked great. Like I'm already in.
I won't spoil it, but it actually shows. It shows a like different ways to approach the same thing and how the whole like the vibe of it. A lot of busy work, I'll admit. By the looks of it, like go to shrines to activate them and collect items. You know, a fox, what's a kitsune?
Kitsune, yeah.
That appears from time to time and shows you secret items.
Oh, that's cool.
And you have to follow it. And yeah, there's like items that like you can customize your character, tons of clothes and shit, but they're not in-game. They're not purchases. You earn them or unlock them. Yeah, so that's a nice feature.
I like it.
But no, overall it looks really cool. There's even a fear mechanic if you're the shinobi character, where if you take over like
there's more than one playable character.
It's the way you approach it. You can.
You mean like the shinobi style build?
Yeah. If you go as a samurai, eventually there comes a point where, let's say you're attacking a base, where the enemy actually starts running away from you. Like they drop their weapons and run.
Nice.
Yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff in that. Also, did you see the PS5 tech demo?
No. Actually, no. I did see the one with the girl running around in the ruins.
Yeah.
I saw a bit of it. Yeah.
That looked promising.
Very pretty.
Yeah.
I mean, that's promising if that was actual in-engine gameplay and not a cutscene.
Yeah, exactly. And even if it is a cutscene, it could be a spiced-up cutscene.
Yeah.
So.
By the way, I have to say, do you see how often my lightning bolts and fireballs are going off on this guy today?
I noticed.
Vast majority of that is just passive, automatic.
Solid.
I got that ability where it just does those sometimes, and it does them quite often.
I think we're gonna go up against a Avatar Arcane here.
I mean, to be fair, I'm doing some of these manually, but 80% of them are just passive. And yeah, I think this is supposed to be an Avatar Arcane fight.
It's pre 40-second Manalio stuff, so yeah, the Eldar that can't like call.
But hey, this guy is actually a living thing and not a mech, so I can use my big fireballs on him.
Solid.
Let's get rid of these weenies.
Oh, and speaking of games, did you see the Tactica Aeronautica game?
No. Yeah. I don't even know what that is. What those words mean.
It's basically a fighter pilots simulator on for 40k. Get Avatus out of there.
Well, he was already down, so I couldn't.
No, yeah, I brought him back, and then he died again.
Yeah, and then he died immediately.
I noticed. This is.
I'm trying to get rid of these ads as well.
Yeah, get rid of them. Yeah, it's interesting enough. It's not turn-based, but you basically start a mission, and you have to like direct where the aircraft are going to go, and they do like sweeps against orc fighter bombers, and
I'll be right back.
It's an interesting idea. Can't say I'm the biggest fan because it reminds me of all those flying simulators from the mid-2000s. For
the hell?
Yeah, what the hell indeed? What happened?
Why did he get me up all the way up here?
And look at this. He's also not in his. He's also not going to his little arena. Like he's not backing off. That's odd and a little bit worrying.
Tis.
All right, you guys take over. I'll go and heal myself up.
Actually, you know what I would really like out of that Aeronautica thing, actually? Did you ever play the old Xbox game Crimson Skies? The video game version of it?
It sounds familiar. I don't think I ever played it. I think I might have seen some.
I would like it to be like that because it was like actual. Because I find stuff like the TIE Fighter games, like dogfighting in space, gets real boring, real fast.
Yeah.
But like doing aerial dogfights when you're like flying through a downtown of a city, or like a Wild West canyons or something. Like, that's interesting. You got some cool, terrain to avoid. And
did you ever play
like a smuggler's cave underneath a mountain or something?
Did you ever play the Battle Station Midway game?
I think so, a long time ago, but I don't really remember.
Oh, it's old. It's like Xbox 360. But the thing is that I liked that because of the collection between the fleet and the aircraft. But other than the bombing runs, I didn't really like the aircraft. I liked like the submarine, for example. I liked the shit. We're kicking his ass, but he's kicking our ass at the same time, so we're just gonna have to.
Oh! Everybody's a glass cannon today.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a pretty fun game. Also, I'm looking at that other one. What's it? U-boat simulator.
That sounds boring to me. Although I know that's a niche thing. Like, some people love that.
Oh, absolutely. Same sort of person.
I'm not one, but it'll be great for some people.
I like how you can go like inside the subs and all that, but by the looks of it, it is a little bit on the technical side. Like, you have to make sure that it's like a what do you call it? You have to make sure that like the U-boats are in position, that the ship is at a certain elevation and range, and it does look like there's a lot of finickiness. But what I wanted was just like, get the ship in your sight, fire your torpedo, run away before the depth charges get you. Stuff like that.
Reminds me a little bit of Battlefleet Gothic. I believe it's very technical as well.
That can be, but that is gamified a lot more for convenience. So
yeah,
there's worse ones than Battlefleet Gothic. Plus, I absolutely love the cutscenes. In fact, you know what? I'll tell you. If the gameplay wouldn't appeal to you, still, when you've got some time free, go and watch the cutscenes for Battlefleet Gothic, and they're just great lore. They're just great stories.
Yeah, sounds nice. I mean, I've never tried the gameplay, so I might give a poke at that, but I don't know.
I got achievement, common foe. I don't know what that's all about.
From what I've heard about it, it does a good job of emphasizing like the slow nature of void battles,
Yeah, there's no way around that. It's fairly slow.
I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm just saying that that's just the thing that it is.
Unless you're fighting the Tyranids or the Orcs. The Orcs literally ram their ships into you. And the Tyranids, of course, will swarm you and eat you. The storyline, there's a lot going on, a lot of voice acting and shit. None of it's canon, so you can see a lot of crazy ass things, like how Robert Gurley Man himself gets himself captured by Chaos at one point, and gets not turned but sacrificed to the dark gods, and his ship gets brought back as a.
But then he came back anyway.
No, this is after the fact. This is set in the 42nd. It's actually the first game I've seen set after Abaddon's return. I
didn't know Abaddon had ever left.
Well, he leaves every time he gets his ass kicked. Oh! 13 times. 13 fucking times. Abaddon the goddamn harmless. You want that sniper rifle?
I don't care. Actually, I guess I control him sometimes. Let me check. Nope, it's the white one. Shite.
Pure shite.
If it's not blue or green, then I don't even care.
Where's that chaos thing that we got? Available expendable item. Donate to increase combat. Oh, that's an actual. Okay.
The book will give somebody +1 strength.
Now, my guys are very strength focused, so it wouldn't be useful to me. But what about you?
Let me see. I guess I could give it to Avitus for when he gets stuck in melee.
It'll help him just at this point in the game. It'll help him just that little bit more. Just that little bit more.
It is a thing that helps. That happens sometimes.
It does. You want to give him
another melee skill. Terminator armor. Oh, that's the one we had before, I think.
Yeah. Cyrus. Yeah, you level up Cyrus.
I'm going plus 25% range damage. I'm going to give him that scout armor.
Speaking of, I turned him into a range specialist, Honey Tits. So, Force Commander can fire plasma guns and flamers while moving. Okay, that's great. But now you can actually kill things while.
I think it's funny that they call it range specialist when he's only got like 10% of the bar filled up.
Well, maybe each one is like a decade in mortal terms. So
he's got
now like 50 years.
50 points in melee and 5 points in ranged. He's a ranged specialist.
I also love just when you look at Terminator armor, like how tiny the head is in comparison to the suit.
It does look silly, doesn't it?
Yeah. Can we actually get rid of that Terminator armor? Let's have a look. Thaddeus, 81, 54. Yeah, we'll get rid of Thaddeus's one. Ooh, Vanguard veterans. Cool. I already knew that though.
Do you think the game ever hands out any Terminator armor that has range bonuses on it ever?
Absolutely, but I think it's unless it's like a special weapon we can't remember right now. It is a random, so you've got to.
The random's been really working towards the melee so far.
Stern Guard squad. That's what Tarkus will get when I max out his range. Tarkus leads a squad of elite veteran specialized line combat. He's present demoralized and nearby enemies. He also equips specialized bolter ammo. Oh, fuck yeah. So, next time he levels up, we'll get that, and then I can focus on giving him melee, so he's not the most worthless.
I remember seeing a lot of the fancy ammo they had in the... Did you ever play any of the tabletop role-playing game 40Ks?
I only ever played 2 matches in my entire life.
So. I played a little bit at one point of this game called Death Watch, which is obviously about the Death Watch. But like you go on missions as members of the Death Watch.
I remember that getting pretty popular in my games.
And seeing some of the specialist ammo they had for that. There's some interesting stuff. They had a rule in that game where your regular ammo, you didn't have to bother tracking. Like you'd have to track how much you've got left in your current magazine or whatever, but like you didn't bother tracking how much ammo you were carrying with you in total, because you were just being supplied with as much as you needed by the by your chapter anyways. But if you brought specialized ammo with you, you'd have to actually spend requisition on getting specialist ammo, and you'd have to track that very specifically. But there was some very useful stuff.
I know there's shells that have like promethium inside them, so they're basically just set on fire, and then there's
I think they call those dragonfire rounds or something like that.
Yeah, and then there's one that's bloody if I remember right, has like psychic energy in them.
Oh geez.
By the way, look at all these crowns. You're gonna use all these on
Probably not, but I don't want to throw them away yet.
All right, you sure? Why not get rid of the weakest first, and then
I'm not sure what this Vortex of Doom is about. I've got this thing that enhances the Vortex of Doom. There's Tome of the Vortex. So I can, if I have an accessory I can equip that would allow me to create vortexes, and then if I wear a specific hood, I can control the vortex. But that sounds like, well, for one thing, it sounds like a lot of work, and for secondly, I don't know.
Yeah.
If I really want to be giving it up.
All right. Well.
Hold on. What is? Yeah. Also, it would replace my current thing that gives me plus 15% damage output. I don't know if I want to do that. But I don't want to make the decision permanent right now, so I'm leaving them there.
All right, fair enough.
Actually, I'll get rid of the warp crown because I definitely don't want that anymore. Oh wait, I can't dispose of these.
None of them?
The game won't even let me. Let me try this one. Nope. Yeah, nope. They won't let me.
Well, I got rid of the Thunder Hammer for you, so Jonah gets leveled up regardless.
True enough.
Okay, let's. I'm guessing we're done here, so let's go to this Calderas, and there's Meridian, but Meridian's time, so we best go and do that.
Alrighty then. Oh, is this going to be the Defend the Palace one?
Hopefully not. I think that's the last time you're on Meridian, so.
I really don't remember. Or maybe this is the Retake the Shrines one?
Well, we'll find out in a second.
Is there one of those? I don't remember anymore.
There's your waifu talking.
She's just got a great voice and attitude. She could be a kick-ass sister of battle.
Yeah, but she probably... That means she wouldn't be able to... Well, no, I was about to say she couldn't fuck anyone, but she could. They sisters of battles don't take vows of chastity. They fuck people. They just are usually so busy killing everything or praying, they don't have time to do it.
Whereas I'm pretty sure the Space Marines are Kamgeld or something.
Yeah, they're genetically...
They're neutered.
Yeah, they're not just neutered, they're like very psyche or altered. That they can't think about
They don't have a sex drive.
No, it's...
Because they have no use for having one, and it would be a distraction.
It'd be a distraction, and it would also give like problems with loyalties. But then, of course, Slaanesh comes around and mutates everything about them, and yeah, they get to have less sex if they want.
And Slaanesh makes them want.
Absolutely, and then why stop at sex? Why not rip out your preferred partner's innards at the moment of climax and cover yourself in their skin? It's all the rage.
I know. Reminds me of that. You ever see that game Lust for Darkness?
No, it's not ringing a bell.
It's either for or from. I don't remember. It's this horror game with a rather perverted twist to it. And at one point, there's a guy who's pumping the stump of a severed leg.
Did Gurley play it by chance?
Yes, and so did I.
It's vaguely familiar.
Let's just say that we had to make accounts on Plexstorm to be able to stream it.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of tits in that game.
Tome of Quickening. That's what you get.
Sounds like a thing I'm not going to be caring much about.
The Quickening. Oh.
France?
Oh, shit. This squad will gain corruption if you return to this if you don't bring him along, he'll get corrupted. So
who?
Thaddeus.
Ah, shite.
Yeah, so I've got to say goodbye to Tarkus.
Does everybody get corruption or just Thaddeus?
Just Thaddeus. You see what happens in each mission, one character will have a unique line of dialogue, and if you don't,
I remember that.
So Thaddeus gives a shit about this planet. So
do we give a shit about him being corrupted, though?
No, you're sending me to Spire. Yeah, here they are having a big pissy fight.
It's up to you.
I want. Oh no, we're taking them. We're taking them. I mean, don't get me wrong. It'd be kind of fun just to find an excuse to shoot him.
Why is Tarkus bright yellow and nobody else is?
Oh, because he's reached full purity.
He's pure.
He's pure. He's radioactive. That's a little known fact about being pure, is that you become your own energy source of smug.
His Terminator armor is powered by his own internal smug.
Remember that from The Simpsons? They went to like this really liberal left-wing like meeting, and there was this famous creator there, and he had a little go-kart, and he was like, "Are you coming?" No, I've built a go-kart that's powered by my own sense of self-satisfaction. And he puts on a little hat, and it just very slowly drives away.
Reminds me of the South Park episode where they're in LA.
The San Francisco.
San Francisco, that's what it was.
And they were all smelling their own farts.
Smelling their own farts, and there was like smog clouds covering the place.
Yeah, they have. LA has smog. San Francisco has smug.
Yeah.
And do you remember Cartman trying to get through it, and he's like in a hazmat suit, and every time somebody says something really pretentious, San Francisco is not really an American city, it's more like a European one, like Paris or Milan. Oh God, I can't breathe!
And wasn't there something about, like, the perfect storm of two smug fronts combining together or something?
Oh yeah, I can't remember what it was. It was like, I think it was a bunch of like white liberals holding a charity event or something like that.
But it caused an actual literal storm somehow, because South Park.
Of course, I mean, hell, they had like the say shit 300 times, and it's a literal curse, you know.
Yeah, why do you think they call it a word of curse?
The Knights of Network Censorship. Network censorship and decency.
I love those guys. That reminds me, I still need to play the last DLC on their game. I bought it the other day, but I haven't sat down to play it yet.
Oh, we get purity if we destroy all the shrines to chaos.
Well, clearly we have to do that.
I mean, anyway, it's just fun to destroy things.
We must all be pure.
And the best way to be pure in the 41st millennium is by going smashy smash.
Press your righteous anger.
Convert your righteous anger into...
Oh, it's okay, I'll just solo this demon over here. You don't have to worry about it.
I'm very importantly doing a task, and that task mostly consists of me shooting things. Importantly is a real word, by the way.
It is now.
Jonah, no!
It's almost like the mage was forced to melee solo something that he shouldn't have had to.
And they're calling down chaotic artillery. I'd actually love to see those. I bet they look like screaming faces.
Probably. Made of fire.
Yeah, and like their crew are fused into the actual thing itself.
Most likely.
Chaotic imagery is just so creative and like horrific. Did you ever get a chance to see that Astartes? Not Astartes. Oh no! Well, it was a fan-made thing anyway, and I think I told you about it. No, I didn't. It's like set during the Horus Heresy, and like just everything, like mutated servitors wandering around the halls, but they're like clipping in and out of reality. Or
I would like to see that, but I don't remember what it was called.
Oh, I gotta find that. If I find it, I'll send it to you on Discord. But like so much stuff.
It sounds pretty epic, though.
It is. Like they have a Space Marine captain, and his top infused to the wall, and watches as the rest of his force dies, and he's he's lost most of his whole bottom half has been cut off. He's being held up by his arms, and most of his face has been ripped off, with only one eye working, so he can see all this shit happening. It's fucking brutal.
Brutal. Reminds me of the Doom games where you've got those, like an entire wall that's made up of
torsos,
just bodies fused together.
They did that in Quake too. I remember that.
But they're still alive and writhing.
Yeah, you can thank the second Aliens movie for that, or just Aliens for that. That scene where they're all in all the colonists are strapped to the walls as like incubators.
Did that come out before or after Doom?
Alien?
I don't remember.
The movie from the 80s, Aliens, with that was the
80s. Yeah, I guess it did come out first.
Yeah, Jesus, it came out. Aliens.
I don't remember when movies came
first.
out.
Oh, sorry, my bad. When you said Doom, I was thinking, what, the movie with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson?
I'm proud that I've never seen that, and I don't think I ever will, unless I feel like mocking it.
Yeah, it's very forgettable. It's very ugly looking. I always remember Paul Verhoeven saying on the film, "You had no idea where anything was." And it's true. They almost needed like a mini map up in the top corner. Everything looked the exact same. You had no idea where anything was in the whole film. Oh, that film. What a forgetful, crappy mess. They tried to make a sequel and no one wanted to back it. I wonder why. Not even for like not even like direct for DVD. And then maybe 2 years ago they did, and it was even worse. They didn't even get any really like well-known names.
I think that fight we just had just sums up 40K battles so well. We destroyed a building while fighting something else and not even trying to target the building.
Hey, if we were the guard,
the building just got collateraled.
Yeah, if we were the guard, we'd have still spent like 5,000 troops to take that building, and we'd have failed and blown it up in the process, and we'd have called it a success.
Also, look at the giant pile of shell casings on the ground.
Yeah, I'm almost certain that's one reason that there aren't more energy weapons in this reality is because at the end of every battle, the tech priest can just come along, scoop up all the shell casings, melt them down, and turn them back into more bullets.
Oh yeah,
that's them being efficient.
Absolutely.
That's
you know it.
That's teleport. I'm have you seen are you big into Paradox games like Hearts of Iron or Crusader Kings?
Never played any of them.
Crusader Kings 3 is coming out on September. And
I ended up claiming Crusader Kings 2 when it was free. But I haven't put any time into learning it yet.
It's daunting and a fucking half. I wouldn't be surprised if that keeps holding you back, because it is very intimidating looking. I've had that game for probably the year it came out, and I don't know all the mechanics, especially because each DLC and like unit pack adds something new to it, and it's all just statistics and little numbers you have to see at the bottom of the screen. And I'm hoping 3 makes it more like there are more. Even just more faces, more movement, more life. Because it's all just like stats with like maybe a still image and some back. They're very good at ambient noises, especially the death animation noises. No matter who dies, including a baby, and no matter how they die, you'll actually hear the unique the sound. So let's just say a baby drowns. Now I know what a baby drowning sounds like. Yay!
It's not a sound I feel like I need to know.
No. I hear they were even at one point going to have like a woman is you can have like a woman raped to death. Oh. And yeah, I think they very wisely did not include that one.
Should hope so.
But that game gets ridiculously brutal. You can castrate and blind people to stop them from being like into succession or just to torture them. You can partake in incest. You can and in some cases you get benefits from it. There was a whole religion that like prided itself on being incestuous. The Zoroastrianists, they're all gone now, but apparently their leadership really took incest to a whole new level.
Gotta keep the bloodline, concentrated.
Yeah, Targaryens ain't got nothing on these motherfuckers. But anyway, Crusader Kings.
There's a bit of a trend there, isn't it?
Of incest.
With the Targaryens, yeah.
Yeah, not always. They weren't crazy enough to just have nothing but incest, but it did promote a lot of fuck ups, a lot of awkwardness.
Although it's supposed to be fair, one of them was accidental.
Yeah. And you know what I always thought was strange as well? It was designed to stop civil wars from happening. They had 4 civil wars over the rights of succession. Like it was just so. God, this is taking forever. There we go.
Refuses to use his rocket launcher for some reason.
There. We're going to grab these resources and fight these bloodletters because we're close quarters and they're close quarters. So it works. It just works.
A match made in the warp.
Bloodletter be happy either way.
Yep. Either way, somebody's PP got hard.
Several, if you're a Slaneshi voyeuristing this fight right now.
And that's just one, and all those severals are all coming from one person.
Person is a strong word.
One entity.
Yeah, entity. And speaking of enter.
And even that's actually
and that was
an
a stretch
way to say it, considering some of the people in the bearers of the word,
or hell,
that have double souls and whatnot.
Smacky, smacky.
I forget what they call those. They have special troops that have demons inside them.
Are they like the chosen or the possessed or something like that?
Something along those lines.
It's weird. Chaos has most Chaos weapons, range weapons, aren't as good as Imperial, but they sound better. The thud, 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 thud.
I really like the heavy bolter sound.
It sounds good, but it sounds too much like a machine gun. It needs to have more of a weight to it, sort of.
I think it does feel like it's got an extra weight to it, though. Like it's a really heavy caliber machine gun.
I like the chink that comes from most bolter weapons. I'd recommend falling back because I did.
Might as well.
Yeah, you don't want to die. No one wants to die except for the Necrons.
I mean, I figured I could finish them off, but at the same time, if you're falling back, I might as well go with.
Yeah, follow the trends. Be a trendy boy. Not a deady boy.
Speaking of being a deady boy, I recently played through this game called Undead Horde.
Okay. Sounds very
kind
generic.
Of fun.
That's very generic.
It's a generic name. It's you ever play Overlord?
Yeah.
It was kind of like a low rent Overlord.
Loved me some Overlord.
Wasn't nearly as good, but it was along the similar lines. You were a necromancer.
Yeah.
So you go around, kill things, raise them up. So you're kind of replenishing your army as you go by turning the corpses of the enemies you killed into replacement troops. But it was pretty fun. You leveled up and you had a command cap. Like you had a command stat. And everything you raised had a certain command value. So you had a limit to how much stuff you could raise depending on how strong they were. And as you leveled up, that limit would go up.
Yeah. That's, at the end of it, how big are the hordes we're talking about? Hundreds? Thousands?
Well, it depends what kind of troops you're using. Because, again, it depends on how strong the enemy is. Like, I had at one point, I was walking around with like 8 or 9 giants.
Cool.
But, if I went back and, like, got, like, the initial guardsmen and peasants, I could probably have 1,000 of those. You can even actually the smallest thing you get is an actual chicken.
Yeah, you can reanimate a chicken.
Yep, and they cost less than a peasant.
Can you have like it? Could it be like a totally accurate battle simulator thing where you have thousands of chickens?
Probably.
Whoa! I want a chicken army.
I want just a few hundred.
I want them to have a chicken army that's also like attacking a clear representation of KFC. The vengeance comes.
2,000 chickens versus 1 Colonel Sanders.
I always knew you'd be coming. I always knew this day was done.
Oh, did you ever play Finger Licking Good? A Finger Licking Good. Sorry, I love you, Colonel Sanders. Yeah, finger licking good dating simulator.
I saw a girlie play that.
Did you? Yeah.
I never played it, but I watched her play a good chunk of that.
I like that one part where the one guy's like the try-hard rocker guy serves up some food on the edge of a battle axe as the plate.
I remember that. Although he's clearly like a big nod towards JoJo right there.
Like, I kind of wanted to eat that. That was kind of... I want to go to a restaurant that serves you food on the side of a blade.
Yeah, and they all have to have like pun-based names, or either pun names, or better yet, names like... do you remember Itchy and Scratchy Land? All the different names, all the standard like meals all had like crazy fun names.
I don't remember that detail, but...
And Marge,
I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah, like Marge fucks it up because she asks for like baby guts, and it turns out to be like veal, and everyone thinks she's a monster for it.
I mean, it is baby guts in a sense.
Well, it's more baby flank, and it's but yeah,
baby flesh.
Yeah, I've had veal, and I'm not gonna lie, I felt bad for feeling this way, but I absolutely loved the taste. It was so nice tasting. Doesn't justify it, but yeah, and that wasn't even very good, but...
At least it's not foie gras or anything really psycho.
No, that's so horrible, the way they treat the goose.
Well, the restaurant I used to work at would, they'd always make their own stock for, like, soups and sauces and things, and they made it was veal stock that they would make, so we'd always get like at least a couple times a week delivery of like a big box of frozen veal bones.
Damn.
But it did make a good soup.
Oh, I absolutely can guess. Have you ever did you ever cook any like live shellfish?
My parents have. I haven't.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Like there's the classic thing of actually no, at the restaurant they would as well because of mussels.
Oh yeah.
Mussels are technically alive.
Technically.
But not that they have a brain or a mouth or anything, but
then there's like crabs and
the classic thing of where you do the lobsters.
Yeah.
You know.
And that's just the of course that's not that noise isn't them screaming, that's like the air coming out in between their shells. But it's still horrible when you think about it.
It still sounds like a scream though.
I know.
Still makes you cringe.
Did you see that controversy with that Chinese woman like last month? She she does mukbangs, which is horrible enough. But then she eats live seafood and like torments it as she eats it.
No.
Oh, she got so much flack for this. Absolutely so. Like, people were sending her death. She was complaining, like, people are sending me death threats. And I'm like, well, you are a horrible person. She would have, like, she got, like, a tub full of, like, octopus. And started to, like, cut bits off them. And you can see it, like, wriggling away. And she doesn't care. She's like, smack, smack, smack. She starts hitting it. And it's like, oh, well. And, like, she's like, playing it up all as, like, this cutesy, like, sort of kawaii vibe. But, you know, this is, we know octopus have, like, incredibly intelligent, like, brains. And she's, like, tormenting this poor thing. And she does the same with, like, fish, and some of the things she's eaten are, like, oh, that's, like, kind of questionable whether or not they have any comprehension of what's going on. But then I wouldn't be surprised if she'd get away with it. She'd, like, torture a dolphin before killing it, just for the lols.
Psychopath.
Absolute psychopath. Although a lot of people then were like, what do you expect? She's Chinese. They're all blah, blah, blah. And like, dude, don't make this a race thing. It's clearly just a very rich and entitled kid who is doing something horrible and needs to stop. Just mate. And unfortunately, it took YouTube ages to take her down. And I think she's actually back up now. So that did jack shit. I don't know if she's still doing it, but I don't think she learned any lesson.
Unlikely.
Fucking shame. Absolute fucking shame.
I don't know what's wrong with some people.
Oh, have you seen speaking of animal cruelty, because I guess we're doing this now and I can't help myself. Did you see the TikTok video of the woman boxing her own dog?
I don't watch TikTok, so
I don't watch.
Covered it. I haven't seen
it. Yeah, I think DP did cover it, but other I know Philip
she was doing what?
Did. I know Philip DeFranco did. She boxed it. She started having like a boxing match with her dog, started punching it in its face over and over again.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and this
I didn't know Alinity was on TikTok.
The dog can clearly be seen, like, at first it wants to play and then it's clearly not happy and it's trying to get away. And I think at one point she tries to, like, go for it as it's running away. She's, like, abusing this fucking thing. And I don't
remember, only men do these kinds of things, right?
Absolutely. And I don't
Never mind the fact that all the stories about this that we've been talking about today have all been women.
Absolutely. I mean, we can talk about... I know there's... Philip was talking about... some TikTok challenge. Oh, the autism challenge. Have you seen that? That's again on TikTok, but other people are covering it.
No.
Yeah, you know that song, "Let's Get Retarded," let's get retarded. Yeah, they do that, but they're they're recording themselves acting like they've got Down syndrome while they're singing it.
Ouch.
Yeah, and tons of people are doing it, and they're like, like that's the challenge, and it's getting so much backlash. There's now more backlash than there is like people doing it, but and I think TikTok is shutting it down. But is it me, or is like TikTok bringing out like the worst? Like
it seems like it.
Like remember the TikTok challenge of people going into like stores and licking ice cream and putting it back, or
I heard about that.
Or when Corona first became a thing, they were doing it with toilet seats. Like, what?
I mean, you go ahead and lick a toilet seat, and you're gonna get more of a consequence out of that than anybody else will.
Yeah, absolutely. But the thing is, then you film it, and people are like, "Oh wow, you're crazy," and then they'll go and do it themselves. So it's promoting bad habit. And a lot of these, you could say, "Oh, they're impressionable kids." In the case of like the autism video, a lot of them are in their 20s.
And they're still impressionable kids.
Yeah, I think they'll be impressionable kids when they're 50.
Let's remember, age and maturity are not the same thing.
I know, but you always think, well, it can't be as bad as you can't. You keep setting the bar, and the bar keeps. God, we need James Cameron. We need fucking James Cameron to come in and reset the bar because it keeps getting lower. Pretty soon, we are going to be watching Honey Boo Boo fighting a pig.
In power armor.
Oh, I want power.
I'm referring to the pig.
Oh well, I still want to see Honey Boo Boo and pig. I want her to be. I want her to be dressed up as an orc war boss. I like the talons, but
Talons of Faith there.
Yeah, but the thing is that while they are a redemption item, Thaddeus can't use them because you can't use them with Terminator armor, and I don't want to switch out the Terminator armor. So
that's a bit of a problem then.
It is. Tarkus is also in Terminator armor. Why the hell would we get out of the Terminator armor? Makes no sense.
You know, I always find it funny in this game how quickly you can go from 20 to 30.
Yeah, it's like early on, it's kind of like, oh, you got your footing, bam, keep going, faster, more level. Oof. Or I'll give the assault on this one. Boom. Right, so let's give the Davian. Basically, whenever someone wants to come along with you, you gotta let them come along unless you want to go for a corruption.
Yeah. You remember, speaking of the last story you were talking about, reminds me of, you ever watched that show In Living Color back in the day?
I know of it. I think we talked about this before, where like I'm aware that I need to watch it because I hear it's hilarious.
Okay, yeah. They had one of their sketches they did was a superhero called Handyman.
Okay. And was he like handicapped?
He was like Superman, but he was handicapped as well.
Yeah.
It's like what's that thing people have where they have their like hands bunched up in front of their chest all the time?
Is that like Down syndrome?
I don't know if it's that or something else somewhat similar, but
doesn't
basically he had
Christian have that? Like, isn't something Christian does? I thought Christian.
No.
Oh no, Christian's autistic. Yeah.
Yeah. No. So anyways, he had whatever that thing is called. It was superhero. Like, imagine somebody who has that, but they also are super strength and invulnerable and can fly like Superman.
Great. So it's going to be like the dude from Mice and Men snapping people's necks.
And he talked kind of like that guy, like the TikTok thing you were talking about, like the way those people were talking.
Yeah, I call that the I am Sam voice.
Yeah. So they had a sketch where they had this superhero like that.
I don't know. You can make fun. I'll tell you a great example of people who can make fun of with people with disabilities is South Park with Timmy and Jimmy.
Yeah,
like they make that work.
The In Living Color one did it like they did it from a more positive angle of like, don't underestimate the handicapped kind of thing.
Yeah, but rather than
Timmy and Jimmy are
rather than pointing laughing
pretty funny
at the way they look and the way they sound, it's more like
I like the joke they do with Jimmy's the one with that's the comedian that with the crutches, right?
Yeah.
I like what they do with him in the second video game where they're all playing superheroes. Did you play that one?
No, I haven't played that one. I played the first one.
It's pretty funny because he's playing a character called Fast Pass, which is basically a ripoff of the Flash.
Yeah.
So the guy who can't walk is playing a super speedster.
And you can tell that's kind of him, like he wants to be like super fast.
Exactly. At one point, they're like, "I'm gonna get over there quickly," and then he just toddles off really slowly. But like in their imagination, he's zooming off.
What was it? I liked those two comic evil ones, Mimsy and what's the other one name? Mimsy and in South Park, you got Mimsy, and then you've got he's the big dumb one, but I forget who the evil guy is, and he's got like a speech impediment, and he's always looking up, and he's got like that sort of look on his face. I don't know how to describe it, but I liked him. Those two, the Water Bear episode.
I don't think I saw that one.
One of the newer ones,
but I like how the games are tied into stuff that actually happened in the show.
Yeah, hell, the Coon and Friends episodes were completely this is based around. Yeah.
This game is based on those episodes.
Isn't it crazy? Like when you look at, say, the Simpsons video games, they don't quite look like the show. They get it right. You can tell that's meant to represent the Simpsons, but it doesn't look great. But in South Park, they look exactly the same.
I mean, it's easy to do, but also they did. It feels like you're playing an extended episode of the show.
I know. In the first one,
humor's all the same.
Yeah.
I think it's because Matt Stone and Trey Parker are involved in the making of the games.
Also, these days, they're probably using the same tools to make the characters in game as they do on the show.
True. Also, did you hear about the town map thing?
No.
Until the first game was being developed, they had never actually
mapped out
determined a town layout. Like they were just winging it the whole time, right?
Yeah, most of us think of South Park as like one street you see in the background of the start of every episode.
Kind of is. But when the first game came out, they were forced to actually
sit down,
finalize an actual canon map of the town.
You remember back in the day when the Simpsons tried to do that?
It's basically 3 streets that are parallel to each other.
And then, of course, you've got like, I mean, that makes sense. Hell, that's technically my village I'm in right now. Well, sorry, we got 4 streets, but there's only one major road. Like
70% of the housing is on one street. Another street is like all the businesses, and then the remaining street is like the community stuff, and then a little bit more housing.
Let's listen to what DeRosa has to say.
If you haven't played them yet, I highly recommend it.
It's definitely on my to-do list. I had so much fun with the first one, so the second one should be a good laugh.
Second one plays very differently.
I loved in the first one where he went up to Canada and it just turned into like the first Ultima game, but all with Canadian graphics.
Yeah, like it was like an 8-bit RPG.
Yeah, like.
Yeah. You know what a dire wolf is, don't you? It's like a wolf, only dire.
Sorry, buddy, you can't come here yet. The game's not finished.
In the second one, you don't get to go into Canada, but you can go up to the wall and there's a guy sitting on top making fun of you.
Does he say that you smell like elderberries?
No, he doesn't go into quite that. He doesn't go into that routine, but you kind of get that vibe.
Yeah.
He's just sitting out there taunting you.
Did you ever see the South Park tribute to the parrot owner, the pet shop sketch from Monty Python?
No.
This is a few years ago. Matt and Trey did this just as a joke and as a tribute to it. And Cartman owns the pet shop, and Kyle comes in with the dead parrot. And Kenny is in a cage, and at one point he gets himself killed just off screen. And like he's like, and they just recreate word for word like the entire sketch. It's really good.
It's awesome.
Yeah. God damn.
I want to see that. Although, actually, speaking of Kenny, something that's really good in the second game is they actually take Kenny's immortality and A, they make it into a game mechanic, and B, he actually mentions it in the lore at one point. So at one point, Kenny refers to him as an immortal, refers to himself as the immortal fourth grader.
Wow, Kenny. So what's your one? I can't die. Oh wow, that's really a cool. That's a really cool one. So, what about you, there, Tug? No, I mean I literally can't die.
So they have a thing where every kid has an ultimate attack that they have to charge up in some way. And what happens with Kenny is if with everybody else, if they go down in battle, you can use a resurrection item to bring them back up again, like an RPG. But if Kenny goes down in battle, then a bunch of rats will show up and eat his corpse, and then he turns into a ghost. So you can't use res items on him, but he can use his ultimate to res himself. But also, if you don't do that, then he can fuck with enemies and debuff enemies as a ghost. Like,
did you ever
possess them or chill them or something?
Did you ever see the movie, the original South Park movie?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember?
There's only been one, hasn't there?
Yeah. I mean, unless of course you count the Terrence and Phillip film.
I love the bit where they're just strapping soldiers on the outside of tanks.
A lot of people gonna die. Operation Kill the Darkies. But yeah,
no, it's Operation Get Behind the Darkies.
But the have you ever heard the Emancipation Proclamation? Sorry, I don't listen to hip hop.
That would be a fire album, wouldn't it?
It'd be more like a diss track.
Yeah.
Aimed towards a whole region of America. But yeah, the afterwards they tried to, for one episode, have an episode without Kenny, and then the next episode he just goes, oh, boop. Oh, hi, Kenny. What's going on? That's how they explain him getting back in. You just hear this, oh, and he literally goes, oh.
Yeah, I love it.
But ever since he took his hood off at the end of the movie, they've been putting in little moments where he has the hood off. And when he was, you remember the one with Michael Jackson where he has to pretend to be a blanket?
Yeah.
He actually comes in and he goes, guys, I don't think this is going to work. And as they're going, you just hear Stan going, dude, shut up. At least you're doing something for once.
I like how meta that show gets.
Oh, Rick and Morty does better for meta, especially this new season. Jesus fucking Christ! But South Park is fantastic. Have you seen the new Rick and Morty?
I haven't seen any Rick and Morty other than like a little clip here and there.
Oh.
I don't really sit down and watch TV.
Dude, it's so good. But I looked in South Park the episode where Bart they're making fun of the Simpsons, and Bart is in like the jail cell with Cartman, and Cartman goes, "So what are you in here for?" "I could have head off a statue." "Wow, yeah, that's crazy." "You know what I did? I once killed this kid's family, grind them up in chili,
then
and
fed them
back
to him.
Oh.
And Bart's like, "That's messed up, dude."
And when they're having a fist fight, they go through the Family Guy studio and they go through the King of the Hill studio, and all the artists sort of staring at them like, "What the hell?" All right, let's play the distress call. Oh, Tarkus and Cyrus both have things to say. I think I think Cyrus has to come. If you want, I'll take Cyrus.
Cyrus always has shit to say.
Yeah, my voice. Well, I'm pretty sure he was the best paid voice actor, so they need to get the most out of him.
Look at me! I was in Death Watch, guys.
I trained Priam and several of those initiates myself.
I mentioned I was in Death Watch.
Well, now that we're not fighting Xenos as much, where he'll be more like, "But I also know a lot about chaos, too. Guys, I know a lot about everything." Really? How about not getting stuck in melee?
Cyrus, do you need to have a talk with the Inquisitors about how much you know about chaos?
Well, he doesn't get only the third one you get to run across the Inquisition. They're mentioned all the time in these games, but they never really appear nearly as much. They did in the very first game, and they did. No, that was a cameo at the end of Dark Crusade, I suppose.
Speaking of which, I really wanted a sequel to Space Marine.
Me too, but Relic's gone. So, and unlike how they held on to other things, they actively. Oh, THQ Nordic. It's THQ Nordic who are they still around?
We'll wait and see. We'll wait and see, because remember, people used to say the same thing about the Darksiders franchise, and it came back.
Yeah, I remember playing the first one. I didn't play any of the others.
And while Darksiders 3 had some flaws, it was pretty good.
I wonder if Tarkus wants to come. I don't think Tarkus gets
a wee bit short, though.
All right, Cyrus. Let's see what Tarkus has to say.
Although, not Resident Evil 3 remake levels of short.
I've heard a lot of people complain about that. Also hear that
took me 6.5 hours.
Damn, that's almost a Angry Joe 4 hours freak out moment, but not quite.
Although, to be fair, I didn't have to spend my money on it, so.
Hell yeah. I remember you got that as a gift, didn't you?
I did. Very generous one.
Solid.
So I immediately played it next after that happened.
Yeah,
the quality was very high. It was just too short.
If I ever get donated a game, that's exactly what I'm going to be like, regardless of what else I'm doing. I'm just going to be like, right, yeah, sure, I'll play it next. I mean, you paid for the damn thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Papa Cyrus, help me!
Well, you didn't initiate them very well if they can't fight back, did you?
Now, everyone's had rough first days on the job, but this is
ridiculous.
Yeah. Ow. I think every time someone gets killed, every time someone gets, there we go. Every time we lose a initiate, we gain corruption.
Right.
That's what this one is.
Now, you haven't had a bad first day on the job until you've been pulled into literal hell on the first day on your job.
There you face the ultimate of all nightmares, a sea of Karens wanting to talk to the manager.
Oh shit, that is a bad first day on the job.
Yeah.
Karens as far as the eye can see.
Did you see the latest Karen video? The woman from I think it's Florida. Of course, it has to be Florida. And it's Hawaii. It was Hawaii, and she's I knew it was somewhere warm. But she's like insulting all the Hawaiians around her, and she lives in Hawaii. And she's like in the middle of a...
She lives there?
Yeah, she lives in the middle of... It's like... she doesn't live in the middle of the street, as far as I can tell, but she's parked in the middle of the street, and everyone is like honking and telling her to move, and she just loses her shit. And like is starting to insult everyone, starting to say that every man around her needs to grow some fucking balls, and shut up, I'm not gonna move, I'm not moving. And she's just I want.
What's she bitching someone about in the first place?
I think I think she just decided to stop her car in the middle of the street.
But why?
Nothing justifiable as far as I can tell.
Well, probably not. But what was it in her head? There had to have been something.
Oh, absolutely. But honestly, was it anything that? Whoa. Well,
we got that cutscene suddenly.
Yeah, well, Cyrus. Well, we best pull back then.
Also, the thing I hate about this one is that it's the way they screw with your camera after that cutscene.
Yeah,
so now they're oriented a different way.
Yeah, it's inverted. There we go. You're welcome. I just fired a cyclone torpedo. That's why I carried... Oh, shit. Well, we couldn't have had Cyrus here without him dropping dead.
Funny thing is, I was just clicking on him with a heal spell when he went down, too. He couldn't hang out for another second to get his heal.
No, he needs to be overly dramatic. Allowing squad to die corrupts... yeah. Alright, Cyrus.
I think the corruption only happens if all of them die, though.
Hmm. Well, we actually don't need to be here. Whoa, did we just pick up the literal book of Lognar Lognar?
Lorgar? Yes, we did.
So that's going to be
here. We're losing time.
We are.
Time is lives.
That'll be an interesting read, mostly about how he totally believes...
Holy shit, how did Cyrus get all the way down there?
Because I was doing shit down there. What shit we needed to do, but you wanted to go all the way up there. Wait, no! Oh, you're right!
That was my idea, you're right.
Yeah, there we are. Jesus, what was up with that inverted shit?
Just for that corner of the map for some reason. I don't know.
Come on, baby, we're gonna party with you. Gonna shoot you up, it's true. Fuck Tank. Tank, ruining my great song.
I don't know, when you said fuck Tank, I just couldn't help but think that it was some sort of Slaneshi thing.
It's just
like all those spikes on the front of it are just dildos instead.
I was just thinking, do you remember Idiocracy, the dildo jousting that Cars got up to?
And I've never seen that.
Oh, it's how they kill you in the in the future. You're put inside
vehicular dildo jousting.
Yeah, a monster truck with this massive like dragon dildo is on one end, and that's going to be your executioner. On the other, you have like this Prius with this like erectile dysfunction little soft thing.
Yeah.
And the national anthem is like a 10,000 electric guitar salute.
Okay, I like that part.
Yeah. And they're all done by like military bands, so they're all in like camouflage and like it's kick-ass.
I can get behind that message.
And I just say that as the years go on, Idiocracy has become more and more of a relevant movie.
I mean, it's just a documentary of actual fact now, isn't it?
Pretty much. That did really badly as a film, though. But of course, all the great ones do when they first come out.
It's certainly getting a lot more attention now.
Yeah, the guy who plays is it Booker T who plays the president? I think it is.
I don't know.
He recently came back and did like a press announcement as him. No, it was Terry Crews. Terry Crews is the president. And
oh shit.
Yeah, he came back and he did like a message about Corona as the president.
Remember when they were doing ads for Crackdown 3 and it was Terry Crews?
No, I don't think I ever saw it. I heard he did that, but
he's like the main NPC leader of the squad in that.
You ever see him on Hot Ones? That's fucking hilarious. He starts having like oh dude, he starts having like hallucinations. It's so hot. He's very pronounced. Like he's got a very pronounced like head, and bald and like deep black. And when he starts sweating, he looks like he's losing his fucking mind. Like he's like, "Stop! No!" Oh, it's so cool.
All right, let's flank this guy.
I really love that shit.
Pincer.
Oh, I'm trying to channel Tim Curry with my voice. Oh no, it'll be a shame if someone fires a bunch of cyclonic torpedoes.
That would be a shame.
Yeah. Oh, for God's sake! Destroy the chains of torment to free entrapped squads. Well, that's all on you now.
Oh shit! What do I have to do?
Destroy them.
All right, I'm working on it.
There we go.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Sir Robin ran away. Sorcerer of Tzeentch. If this was a real Sorcerer of Tzeentch, halfway through we would get, it would turn out that we'd been fighting like an illusion this whole time. I'm a-coming. Remember, folks, if you are enjoying this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And check the link down below for Krendar's video. Or videos.
Hello.
Or collection of videos, also known as a channel. I saved that. Shut up. Totally saved it.
Totally.
Utterly. Butterly. I want some butter. My udders.
Butter.
Utter butter. And
that is where butter comes from.
Pretty much. Although if it's coming out as butter, I think your cow or anything else it's coming out of has bigger problems.
Probably. That's just convenient, though, really.
Yeah, unless, of course, you're trying to get, like, milk. Maybe one teat does butter, one does milk, and one does
creamer.
Cheese. Not cheese. Yeah, cottage cheese.
Ha 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 ha. That's nasty.
Ain't it just? Moo! That's the sound the cow makes. That's what I'm sticking with.
That when you pull the cottage cheese one.
Yeah. Moo for one. Moo for the other. Moo!
It's like the Diablo 2 cow level all over again.
or what was it from this is where the politics comes into play. Forgot about this. Apollo.
They're doing a little foreshadowing for Retribution here.
Yeah, I really liked Diomedes. Like when I started really getting into like lore of Space Marines, I didn't realize how much like bickering and politics there are going on. Because they're normally so stern and serious. You don't realize that when they're not fighting, they're kind of eyeing each other up all the time.
Yeah.
The blade of that's an ugly font they used. The blade of unrelenting. One thing's for sure, I wouldn't say no to some butter right now and some toast. I should make some after this. I'm hungry. Brr.
Gee, I wonder why he would do that.
Well, he doesn't know, but he's getting an order from someone.
Yep.
A very naughty someone.
We'll have to give him a spanking later.
Indeed. Although I want him to live long enough to go through his awesome speech.
Give us time to identify our traitor, who is totally not me.
Well, it's not. It's him. I am Martellus. I'm not a traitor.
Exactly. I'm not the traitor. You're all the traitors against me.
Here's Martellus being Martellus. Ooh, we get to go on board the thingamajig now.
Oh, we have a Chaos Melta now.
Sweet. Except it'll be sweet experience at least.
Oh, the Book of Lorgar.
Daddy,
a bunch of Mealy and Will's stuff.
Daddy does not love me. Daddy does not need me. Daddy, why won't you let me love you the way I want you to love?
That'd be funny. Everybody acts like it's like this some sort of like infernal anti-Bible the whole time, but it's really just an emo diary.
Dad said that Horus was going to be War Master. I could be War Master, but no.
Ooh. Greater hypnotherapy rights. +1 will combat affects all squads. You know?
Here's Thaddeus. Diomedes sucks in the third one, and I've seen all the cutscenes for it. He's the chaplain, isn't he?
Remember. It's funny because I've played through the whole third game. I don't remember anything about it.
I recently rewatched all the cutscenes. Some days I don't want to like watch YouTube creators or anything like that. I just want to actively go and like watch gameplay cutscenes from like 20-year-old games. Did you ever play or watch the cutscenes from the first Space Hulk game?
No, actually, I haven't.
Oh my god, they do not end well. They have not aged well at all.
I imagine. That was actually the first game I ever encountered where you absolutely had to have a dedicated video card.
Really?
To play it.
Damn.
Or at least the first one I came across.
I think this one was like 1992 or something.
I remember getting it and being confused at why it wouldn't run. Because dedicated graphics cards weren't really a common thing.
Whoa!
At one point.
Whoa, the game crashed.
Oh no.
Ha! Relic wants to know. That's a bit of a relic right there. I think if I were to send this, it would just end up in like a desk next to a skeleton. Like you were just... Okay, yeah. Let's go back in then. I guess let's go back in.
This crash report has become meta.
We will, it gets turned into like a piece of paper that's then sent to someone, and it goes into like a tube, and it comes out like a pneumatic like tube, and it's just in a big pile of other tubes in this empty warehouse somewhere.
That's actually extremely meta because that's exactly what happens in the Imperium all the time.
Yeah, Jesus. Maybe it's a
Nothing ever gets done because there's too much shit to do.
By the way, did you know that there's a YouTube channel that is full of like hour-long or even 10-hour-long ambient music videos for 40K?
Oh yeah.
Did you see that's the Forge World, the Mechanicus World
No.
one? That's a 10-hour-long one of what a Forge World would sound like in the background.
Holy shit.
Oh, dude, and I look down the comments, and it's like people fall asleep to it, and you just hear like machinery off in the distance and this low humming.
Obviously, it's on a loop of some sort, but still.
The one I really like is a Necron battle. Like Necrons are fighting the Imperial Guard off in the distance. Except if you listen closely, you can clearly hear they took some stuff from Reapers from Mass Effect.
Oh yeah.
That's Krendar. There we are. And I've got a lot of friends who are called K, and that's going to cause the problem in the future. Go on.
No, I don't remember what I was going to say.
Remember when? Which is ironic. I think I know what caused the crash. I tried to add the expendable item onto Honey Tits, and the expendable item's gone now. But he was already level 30. So
what was it supposed to be, an experience item?
Yeah.
Oh, what'd you do that for then?
I didn't realize it until as I was clicking on it. I'm like, no, and all I thought was that it would just go like, item cannot be used. But instead it just crashed the whole damn thing. I'm pretty, I'm not smart. Just get rid of the Book of Lognor, though. There we go. Alright, let's give him this. Furious Charge. When using to victory, stuns enemy in his path. Oh, that'd be useful. And
this is just proof that witty and smart are different things.
Absolutely. I am in a hollow shell you're very
comedy and whiskey.
I really wish I had some whiskey right now. I haven't actually had whiskey in a long while. Last one I had honey in it. I remember that. It was very nice.
That's when what?
Honey.
When you had a funny?
Honey.
Oh.
It had honey in it.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've never had it like that before.
Yeah, it was all right. It definitely dulled the horrific nightmarish pain of most whiskeys. I'm more of a clear spirits guy. I'm more gin, vodka. I like rum, I suppose. What's the one?
I like a mead now and again.
A what? Oh, mead. You know what?
Speaking of honey.
Yeah, I never actually really got into mead, but I'll tell you,
they vary a lot, though.
I know they do. That's why I always keep my kind of in the back of my mind that maybe I'll get this, maybe I'll get that. But all right, now we've got the Stern Guard, and he can equip specialized bullets, but of course he doesn't have the space for it. So let's get rid of the immunity. Let's get rid of
especially as well, because some people make it like a wine and some people make it like a beer.
Yeah, I've had the beer one I wasn't a fan of, but there's this, you know that YouTube channel, How to Drink?
No.
It's very popular. The dude looks like someone out of a cowboy film, but he's like a really cool barman, and he'll go through like all these nerd drinks. Like for example, he recently done one where he made Klingon blood wine, and he just has to get the idea of what it is, like what sort of drink could be what. He's also made a Frisian ale from of course Fenris 40K. He's made a lot of drinks from animes, TV shows, a lot of games. I think he made that crazy ass super drink from Mass Effect that always puts Commander Shepard out.
Didn't somebody make a Game of Thrones cookbook called A Feast of Ice and Fire?
Yes, they did, and that came out about the same time as George R. R. Martin's wine collection, which I think that there's a reason why a lot of those recipes come with a pairing for his wine. Apparently his wine doesn't taste too bad, but I'll tell you whose wine does apparently taste absolute shit. That is George Lucas's vineyard.
Figures.
Because he lives in a vineyard. Like his whole estate is like a part of a massive vineyard, and he tried to like it's a Skywalker Ranch, so Skywalker wine, and apparently it's very bad. It tastes worse than Blossom Hill. Like it's really bad. And before you say it, I can enjoy Blossom Hill from time to time, but I know it's not a good wine. It's very bummy wine. It's very bare bones wine. But hell, it gets you drunk, so it's all good, I guess.
And then there's my roommate got suckered into buying the Fallout Cookbook.
Okay.
Which is basically it's just a bunch of normal ass recipes, but they've been renamed to being the food items in Fallout games. So it's like baked bloatfly or whatever, and it's just like I think it's just like meatloaf or something.
In the first Fallout game, in the manual for it, which if you only ever play it digitally, you can still get. It will have a collection of baking recipes, including like mushroom muffins that make the muffins look like mushroom clouds.
That's cute.
But you get that for free when you get the game, so they better at the very least put that into it, because I don't know how many people would look up an old manual from like the early 90s.
That's true. But I was just really disappointed that the recipes were all just fairly normal day-to-day things.
Yeah, you want to get a bit crazy with it. But at the same time, like drink wise, yeah, absolutely. Like, I've actually learned a lot of recipes from like TV shows and movies and games and the like. There you go. Avitus is now level 30. We won't need to. Pretty soon, we won't need to get rid of the war gear. We'll have. We'll already be.
I mean, we'll be doing it just to clean up the list, really.
Especially with all those crowns, you'll probably get like 5 more crowns before the end of the game.
Probably.
Well,
that reminds me. Let me take a quick look at accessories, because there was a new purity seal at some point, wasn't there? Oh no, maybe not. No, we're good. All right, what's this final ability? Undaunted. As long as the Avitus remains stationary, focus fire reduces the amount of damage the squad takes. Nice.
Cool.
And he remains stationary quite a bit, so.
As well he should. Let us leave and go to the Judgment of Carrion. We're coming close to the end of the our normal 2-hour run, so do you want to do let's see how many missions we have to do. We'll do this mission, and then if we're feeling up for it, one more mission and end it, or just end it depending on how long this one is.
Yeah, we'll give it a little
I love how...
Shit, I don't remember the word I was looking for now. Give it a little assessment.
Give it a bit of shake and bake.
Sure.
Bit of shake and bake.
That's not at all what I was going for, but I can still
it's
roll
food based, and I'm hungry. I love the Judgment of Carrion because, like Space
That's
Hulks,
a nasty looking ship.
Ain't it just? It's not just one ship; it's like 20 and a few asteroids thrown in for good measure, all messed in the warp and then thrown out. I absolutely love. That's how you do it, because there was a 40k game in the 90s called oh god, it was. I have it. It was an Imperial Guard game where you had to like invade a planet, stop an orc invasion from a planet, and it had all like cutscenes, like live action cutscenes, people in like dress, and it was like, you know, that Armageddon game, the little side game that comes with 40K, where you're like using Titans.
Sounds vaguely familiar.
It's basically that for a video game. But for there, it showed a Space Hulk that the orcs had taken over, and it was this solid block of metal with orcs, like one giant orc symbol on the side of it, and it looked too clean. Like it was too big, and it was meant to be a Space Hulk. Like that's bullshit. That is not a Space Hulk. This is a Space Hulk. Space Hulk is an ugly wreck of a thing.
I mean, just look at how fucked up this thing got.
And
its time in the warp was not friendly to it at all.
No, it voided its warranty for sure. And
it's Gellerfields, clearly.
Let's see. You got a lot of Imperial stuff, but also there's what looks like an asteroid or maybe some Tyranid bioship fused together.
Or both.
Yeah, it could be both indeed. And
I mean, there's obviously going to be some Tyranid involved because there's Tyranids all over the place in here. But
and then, of course, you've got sure there's tons of Orcish stuff. There's probably even some Eldar stuff infused in here as well, for good measure. It's okay. Let's.
It is far from pure now. That's for sure.
Oh, let's have a look. Cyrus, I've been trying to identify the traitor using our shipboard cogitators. But who could it be? I'm Martellus. I'm not a traitor.
I enjoy in Retribution when you're doing the missions where you're guiding around the data engine thing.
Oh yeah,
the computer voice is very good in that one.
Yeah. Well. Oh, that's right. I was about to play this as Thaddeus. Bullshit. Maybe I should use. No, I was gonna say I should use Davian Duel for at least one mission, but we're gonna get at least one mission. So let's get rid of him and put in Tarkus because we need Tarkus.
Get in Tarky Tark.
Tarky Tark and the Tarky.
Now, if I remember, we've got a time limit on this, right?
Yeah, taking too long completes the mission and corrupts all deployed squads.
Yeah.
I like
although it's a reasonable limit. Like we're not going to be panicked, but
no, you can occasionally get lost, but it's not too bad. Let's see. I like the dialogue they have at this. Is they're losing their mind. Like I think Tarkus starts whispering to himself. I think Cyrus starts giggling.
Sounds about right. And like I said before, I like how everybody's like, if you're getting anybody to actually go traitor, everybody's
has their own
backstory to it is different. And with Jonah Orion, it's not that he goes traitor; it's that he gets possessed by a demon, because that's a danger as a psyker.
Yeah. Plus, you think the Tyranids will get converted too, because there are Tyranid chaos cults, mostly gene stealers, but they can go chaos if they're separated from the hive. They need like another synapse, something else to use. Oh Jesus!
Little bastards,
rippers.
There's little nibblers on our ass.
I like Luton's video on the Tyranids. I forget. Like he explains how Rippers, after a planet's fallen, like they're like the cleanup crew. They eat everything, but not just like biological. They'll even like intentionally suck in large quantities of air so they can eat the microbes.
That's dedication.
It is. That's why. Oh, some gene. Oh yeah, you have to go on the hunt for some gene seed. Bonaparte.
That is funny.
That's no wonder he's dead. He's French.
Surprised he didn't run away.
Maybe he did. That's when they got him. They surrender. We
Speaking
need
of
we need some French sounding Space Marines.
Speaking of Bonaparte, did you ever play Psychonauts?
Yes, I didn't complete it, but I played a little bit of it.
One of the mind levels was a guy who was a descendant of Bonaparte. So he started having like this mental battle inside his head.
Wasn't there one
where Napoleon was chastising him for being a coward?
Wasn't there one where the female instructor she like let a didn't she like let a like an orphanage burn down or something?
I wouldn't say let, but she was running an orphanage and it did burn down.
Yeah, I remember that, and I remember people always talking about that as like an incredibly dark moment. And I'm like,
especially because her level was so happy-go-lucky, but then like there was this dark secret hidden in a secret room.
It's like a box or something. And she's like, you don't need to go in there, you know. Like,
yeah.
I hear they're making a sequel to that.
Yeah, I cannot fucking wait. I've been wanting that sequel ever since I played the first one when it first came out.
Is it Double Fine who's also making it? Because he's the same guy who made it. Oh, okay, that's good. That's good. Kind of interesting to see what they're going to do with it.
You should see the trailer for it. It is gorgeous.
Have they bloody released that Beyond Good and Evil sequel yet? The one with the Cockney chimp and the pig people and all that.
Not yet, but it was, and that was an amazing trailer as well, though.
It was, but you could tell that wouldn't be able to live up to its hype. That was a very interesting game. Way. I played a little bit on this channel, and I could tell that there was like a lot going on there. There was something very sort of Fifth Element about the whole thing, or like a slightly more mature Ratchet and Clank.
For sure, I played the original. It had an interesting world. You figure if the sequel comes out, you're gonna be playing the monkey guy, or
I thought you'd probably want to be playing more Jade, but maybe you could switch. Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, Jade wasn't even in the trailer though.
And she was on the ship at the very end.
Oh, that's right, but she seemed like a bad guy, didn't she?
No, because the chimp was working for her. That's where they're going at the very end of it. Do you remember?
Oh, right.
Yeah, so she's got like this sort of gang, or like it's like a group of resistance or refugee. I think it's more resistance, but
still, it felt more like the way the trailer went. It gave me the vibe that the monkey would be the player character, and Jade's just like
maybe it's like different missions.
Your boss as an NPC now.
Maybe it's like Munch Odyssey, where you can do some things with one character and then something with the other.
Maybe.
There's a series I want to see back. None of this fucking remake shit. I want another Oddworld game.
I always liked the world. The Oddworld story, but the gameplay was always terrible, I thought.
Oh, no, it works, but it's so unforgiving. It's so unforgiving. Especially in the first one where you had to rescue it all to get like the proper ending. So you had to rescue them more and more. The puzzles were very, very like cleverly done. But the world itself is the best part. Because it's so unlike ours, but then it's so similar to ours. Even Munch, which is the weakest of the three main base games, like I love the storyline where they have to possess that one fuck-up looking and then make him into like the ultimate example of capitalism. And you can see him like going through the ranks and he starts dressing more and more like a pimp. And it's like a montage. He does it. They actually they put a part of that to they submitted a part of that to. Oh yeah. Why can't we have nice things without Tyranids come and fuck it up?
Right.
They actually.
I'll get out of your way so you can get in there.
Put a what was it? They put a part of the second game to the Oscars for consideration, which I thought was it was so well done. Like the Oddworld,
you don't see happening every day.
Netflix, I think should do like an Oddworld show. It doesn't even need to involve Abe straight away, because they openly say that the Oddworld is like 5 times bigger than Earth. So there's so many regions that aren't even like related to like the Gluckans and all that. Because that one, the Bounty Hunter game, that was completely like separate of the Gluckans, except for like a cameo. So I would absolutely love that. It would be really cool. I also think an MMO style game set, not with Oddworld, but in like a feral world of like chaos would be really cool for 40K.
Interesting.
Because there are like whole worlds. Like I have a book where this sort of like Conan-esque guy is wandering across a world run by Slanesh. And their idea of like moral correctness is so different. Like the tribe will worship the idea of excess. So you will it's not just you have to kill someone, of course you have to kill them in incredible ways. And although he's attacking the demonette that's running over the world, he's doing it not to kill off chaos, but just because of vengeance, because the voices in his head won't stop him from telling him to kill it, and it's a rival demon controlling him.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, it's it is real. I forgot that Rosariums are the best used against spores, because there's usually so many spores you can't stop them all.
My smite lightning thing worked pretty well on them.
Yeah, but
as well. It's just that they got a bit close as well.
No, but like
it's a good chain lightning on them.
It could be like I could almost see it like Conan Exiles.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of like that, but with chaos themed, and like there could be technology, but it's very haphazardly scattered across. So like bullets would be next to impossible to find for like a bolter you could find, but you could just as easily find like a massive sword and start stabbing people. And there would be cities, but they'd be more like medieval, sort of like Middle Eastern cities, but it's all sexual tilted and drugs, and maybe a different region of the planet would be like Khorne, and then another one would be like Nurgle, and another one would be Tzeentch, and in the middle, all four would just be battling endlessly.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay, we got all the data slates anyway. But we still don't have the we still have to find the last
collect the rest of the seed. It is turning into a porno.
Yeah, we gotta need no wonder I was thinking about Tzeentch of Slanesh.
Yeah.
Okay, so we just have one more to get.
Here's the ambush.
Good old ambush. There, you all focus on Tarkin. Tarkus.
Tarky.
Tarkin, the Tarky Bunch.
God, I remember back when that guy was a musician and not an actor.
I vaguely remember that myself, but it was just really before my time. But yeah, Mark Wahlberg, Jesus Christ.
I have to say he made a good career decision to change, because he's doing a lot better now.
Boy bands are only now starting to come back into popularity for nostalgia's sake. But then they're more like reunion tours. but I do like the like. I think he's come along as an actor. He's definitely improved, but at the exact same time, he also like, you know, the happening.
Isn't the last gene seed in the boss chamber or something?
I think it's nearby it, but do you want to take a chance of it? Do you want to not?
Nah, let's.
Yeah, let's take our chances.
Does the timer stop during the boss fight? I don't remember.
I don't know, and I don't think we should chance it. While you guys are while you do that,
well, I do what?
You hold on to that. I'm gonna go and try to shoot these up, and if we're lucky, we'll with strategic supplies. Great. Yeah, it could be anywhere. So we might as well capture the switch to open the door.
And you can do your try teleporting onto the pipes up here. You can smash them, I think. If you go up here.
Mm-hmm. I can't teleport.
Or do whatever it is you do with your Terminator armor. Can you still do the charge move?
Oh, yeah, yeah. All right, we'll quickly do that.
You bash through these pipes up here, I think.
We're really running out of time. Shouldn't he be charging true? Shouldn't the card effects be charging true? Like, this is a... Here. There's Tarkus losing his brains.
Yeah, and he's talking about that corrupted bolter that we were talking about before.
That's right.
The last gene seed might be back in here, actually.
Hope so, because we don't really have luxury of any other time. Data slate, which we have. Why do they have so many data slates? We already have them. We already have all the data slates we need, which might mean there's more gene seed in comparison.
Maybe.
I'm guessing the...
there it is.
Yay. Shall not forget your deeds. Beep. Ooh. Beep. Every time I play Mechanicus, all I think of is, let me into your temple. Access granted.
Oh my. Who says they can't talk naughty? Anybody who thinks nerds can't be flirty hasn't heard people going on and on about hard drives.
For God's sake, like, nerds are the most perverted, fucked up motherfuckers on the planet.
Thank you.
I know. We are entirely at the whims of our own fantasies, and with the technology to make them happen, we go down some interesting and dark paths. Like recently, I found out about the Bluffly girl.
What?
Yeah. You know Wang? The he was on DP. Not too
there
long
was
ago.
one in here.
No, well, we didn't know. We had to take our chances.
Who?
Yeah, Wang. He does these sort of like
Justin Wang.
I think it's Justin Wang. I think.
Anyway.
All right. So, he basically has a video where he's talking about the Bluffly girl, and she was on like 4chan or Reddit, a story about a girl who wanted to get raw meat, put it up inside her, and then have maggots eat her out.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and the thing is, she started
They wouldn't eat her out, they would eat her.
Yeah, they started doing it too, and she eventually ended up in hospital.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
She got like a massive like infection, and as it turns out, she kept on like relapsing, and every time she relapsed, she would talk about it, and even talking about it is actually making my stomach a little bit on the queasy side. But that's to say, she when she relapsed one time, she was outside of a dumpster, in like the back of like a Taco Bell on a hot day.
People have some strange fetishes.
On a slightly less what the fuckery note, I was talking about this with Luca. Did you know about the Tumblr group that's into rabies?
People really are into just any old thing, aren't they?
Yeah, they want to get rabies. They desperately want rabies. They will do anything to get rabies. And
where do people get these strange ideas?
Honestly, I don't know. I know it isn't just the thing itself that appeals to them. Like, for example, the people who want to bring knives or guns.
It's like the taboo and whatever,
yeah,
right?
But it's also like the risk and like you're not feeling alive unless you're like close to death. Like those people who, what's it, crashers? The ones who like watching cars, getting crashed. They want to fucking cars, and at the moment of climax, their car crashes. Here's Galen losing his mind to the darkness of chaos.
So many drunken peasants jokes could be made about this Galen guy here.
He's actually a fan. Like he's subbed to me. I've mostly seen him pop out when he does when I do Age of Empires. You see, he's like,
reminds me of the one time I tricked Brett Keenan into subscribing to my YouTube channel.
Dude, score!
And by tricked, I mean he's a sub for sub type of guy.
I know.
So if you sub to him, he'll just sub to you automatically.
I wouldn't do that, but I have occasionally clicked on links that people are like, "Can you believe this shit?" And then I click on, like, let's say on the DFF fan group page on Facebook, I click on it and it goes to Brett's channel. I'm like, no, I do believe in starving the manatee. Although I did brief a while ago have a look at his view count, his subs, and I'm actually catching up to him.
Oh God!
Yeah, he's come a long way down, hasn't he?
Does that mean that I'm actually exceeding him then?
Oh yeah, by a fair margin. He has about 200 and something subs.
Although to be fair, at least 800 of my subs are just like support subs that don't actually watch anything. Actually,
yeah, or
maybe 3 actual people watch my videos.
But yeah, it's the same. It's the same here. Like if I'm talking about regulars rather than just like people who actively go and. Like, I'm lucky if I get double digits these days. I'm very happy to say on average I get about.
Like there was one point I did TJ's Patreon thing where you pay him a bunch of money and he does an ad for your channel, and I got 800 subs from it, but none of them watch anything.
No, you for the most part that's what you do. You kind of like you go and you get a boost, and then a year later, out of maybe 100 people who sub to you, one person stays. And that's considered like a good thing. And of course, it's all relative when you are dealing in thousands and thousands and thousands of subs, and maybe 100 of them are like loyal fans. Then that's fairly average. That's why.
By the way, healing aura. Jonah emits an aura of psychic power that slowly heals nearby allies.
Ooh, healing fart. I approve.
Like permanent passive healing fart.
Well, that's definitely something we can use in the near future. Who's left that needs to level up? Jonah.
It needs 1 more level.
Cyrus needs 1.5. Thaddeus needs 3, and Davian needs more or less 2 at this point. Let's get rid of the Chaos Armor. Let's get rid of the Crusader. Actually, do we need to get rid of 66, 81? Oh, yeah, we'll get rid of that. And okay, myself. Oh shit! No, my bad. Now let's also give him 1 more item. Give him a Rosarium too, might as well, and give him the Signum. Okay. Yeah. Early on in my career, YouTube career, early on when I started doing YouTube, I ran across this English dude who was completely and openly adamant about being a sub for sub. And he was constantly live streaming every day, talking to his audience, but he was talking to his audience the same way Cool Cat talks to the kids.
Oh God!
So it felt very condescending. But he subbed to me, and then I subbed back for the sake of it. And as I was out in the middle of nowhere at one point, and he started to like watch me live. But what he did was he had a giant TV behind him, and he would actually turn on the person he was watching if they were like live streaming or like they had a video. Huh. And he would like watch us. He'd watch me as I'd watch him watching me. Like it was like fucking weird.
That's trippy.
It was, and he was so like, yeah, man, mate, I swear I can give you an extra 150 subs. I guarantee it. And I'm still like, okay, buddy. Brilliant.
I'm down.
Yeah, but at the same time, I already knew that like subs don't matter nearly as much if no one's going to end up watching your shit.
Right.
I remember Mr. Medicare watched once this back when I actually watched Mr. Medicare. He had one of his like crazy people videos, and he had this what was it? He had this woman who was obsessed with a teacher. She was like stalking her teacher, and she would post about 5 videos every day, and all they were numbered. She didn't give them any titles or anything, and some of them were like as little as 5 seconds. And she was just uploading them again and again and again. She started like stalking them, like the teacher. Like it was.
Or the videos though.
The videos were just her saying something like she was having an argument with no one, like no one. And then sometimes she'd be like having an argument with someone. Maybe those sort of arguments you have in your head after the conversation's happened.
Yeah.
Like what you should have said, what you would have said. She just says them like on screen. It was just, you could tell she was ill as fuck. She wasn't like unattractive or anything like that, but apparently it started off with her at a party because she was out in college. Her professor was there, and she went over and she hit on him, and he politely declined. And she said she made this video explaining how that was a bad idea because they were so great for each other, and started going through the reasons why they were so great for each other. Then she got obsessed with the dude's wife, and then she got obsessed with kind of like a more proactive Gale without the crazy fantasy. Just this crazy like obsession with shit.
Damn. But sounds like she puts Gale to shame.
The sheer amount of stuff she puts out. Yeah, Gale has like depth to her. This woman was just absolutely obsessed. But the
I mean, she sounds even crazier than Gale is what I mean. As well.
Different shades of the same crazy, I guess. But the thing I noticed about her, the reason I bring her up, is that when you go down to her views, each episode would get like 2 views. And apparently she had like 150 subs, and she'd been doing this for like 5 years.
Do you think those 2 views were her and the person she's obsessed with?
I don't know if every once in a while you get to see like a few more. I'm guarantee she'd watch her own shit. But
so she's getting the same kind of views I am then.
Hey, there's no shame to it. I always count as 1 view because I need to have a second screen up to see the bloody chat. You know.
That's true.
So
no, I mean on the YouTube side, not on the Twitch side.
Yeah. But no, like she was clearly like ill, but she was so obscure she didn't even become a lol cow. Don't know how, I think eventually she got herself arrested. Yeah, she was living in a motel at this point, and she refused to leave, and she barricaded herself in and claimed squatters' rights.
Oh, great.
Yeah, and the police had to come and drag her away, and she ended up in a psychiatric home. God, like, there were so many.
It was inevitable, I think.
Yeah, you too, or that, or else hell, for all I know, she's dead. There's a lot of crazy that came out of the internet. I mean, obviously we know. I mean, we're both fans of DP, but some of them are just like so sad. Like the guy who just started carbon copying Angry Video Game Nerd back when he was a thing.
Uh-huh.
And he would start like filming himself every time James would upload a video. He would upload a video on a different topic, but the video would still be the exact same layout. And he was desperate, and I mean desperate, for Angry Video Game Nerd to like respond to him. And he started making his own following. And you think that at that point you just like forget about Angry Video Game Nerd, but no, he just kept on doing it over and over and over again. And then he started going and talking about his girlfriend, or a girl he thought he was a girlfriend, and it was like a week-long relationship, and she left him because apparently he was obsessive and controlling as fuck. And he lost his mind, and he started to make these sort of cringy love videos, like how much he loves her, and then how much he doesn't need her. And then he started wandering around Canada and like the northern part, because he's Canadian, northern parts of America, and he'd start threatening police officers. Like their cruiser would go by, and he's like, "You want to fucking try me? You want to fucking try me? I'll kill you! I'll kill you!" Over and over again. Like, or he starts like having arguments with ducks. Yeah, it's kind of like the way Good Time Johnny does it, except like the ducks are terrified of this dude. Well, the ducks with Good Time, they don't really mind. But like, I think he ended up dying. I think he ended up committing suicide. That guy.
Damn.
Yeah, like it's so many like crazy ass shit. Some of which are like real lol cows, like say The Beast. There's a documentary of The Beast out. I watched recently. It was fucking hilarious. But then
it makes me sad how many of these truly pathetic, crazy weirdos are finding from Canada.
I know, right? I mean, Canada produces great people like Ryan Reynolds. Yeah. Yeah,
there you go.
There you go. There's one. There's one, buddy.
Then again, I can also feel sad about the fact that I'm literally 2 hours away from the Vigilant Christian Mario.
And it's back down to 0.
What's that?
And it's back down to 0. He's so cringy, he deletes Ryan Reynolds' coolness. What was it? Yeah, but he was going to be on DP, wasn't he? And he
chickened out.
He not only chickened out, he told Ben in a stream not too long ago that he's not feeling the best again. He's kind of like depressed again. So I'm actually not going to. I can mock Vigilant Christian all I want, but on that front, he didn't really chicken out. He's clearly just not. He's clearly unwell right now.
Fair enough. I mean, he needs to drop the whole Christianity thing.
Absolutely,
he'll feel a lot better.
He has to come to terms with who he is as a person. He will feel happier. He will feel more fulfilled, and he can actually start living a life. And if that life involves cocaine and male prostitutes, well, guess what? That'll be his fucking life.
Live your best life, you know?
Absolutely.
Drop the fucking guilt trip religion that's making you feel bad for enjoying yourself.
You can even still be Christian, but gay at the same time. It's a bit of a juggling act, but at the exact same time, you know?
I mean, that you're deluding yourself if you do that.
I know, but if he wants to feel like he gets his cake and eat it too, then absolutely. But as it is...
The best thing for him would be just to realize how Christianity is just keeping people down and just dump the whole thing. But that's never going to happen.
No, because he's always been beneficial of Christianity up to quite recently, where
he's too obsessed with it.
He is. It's kind of like people who like they have to throw it all in and they're going down with the ship if it fucks up. Except in his case, because it's so fictitious and so arbitrary, that let it go down. Let it all collapse. It's fine. You'll be okay. It's kind of like the episode of Global Warming. Like, remember in South Park where they were being chased by global warming and this one guy gets stuck outside and is like, no, the global warming's going to catch me. And he hides. He's like, ah! And then he just looks up. Everything's fine. Like, he's like, huh?
It's basically that, yeah.
Jesus doesn't love me. I'm going to go to jail. Ah! Oh, wait, yeah.
Oh, nothing happened. Weird.
Nothing happened. I wonder why that is.
Poor guy.
I know. he's. What would Billy say in this? He's a sweet boy.
I keep trying to joking around with Girl Does Rant that she should drive up from Toronto and pick me up on the way to Montreal. We can go heckle Mario together.
Heckle him. Do you know where he lives?
No, I just know he's in Montreal.
Well, that's a
which
start.
Which is why I know he's within 2 hours of me.
I'm
mostly just trying to use it as an excuse to get Girly to drop by and visit and do a road trip together.
Yeah, I don't. Hey, I tried to make it happen with you, man. You were the one that was meant to put feelers out. You never actually got back at me on that theory that we could have all pooled together.
I did get back to you. We just couldn't have done
No, with you and me. But remember, you also wanted to get Girly in as well.
Yeah, no, she wasn't up for it.
Oh, okay. I would have liked to know that.
I did tell you that. You just forgotten.
No, I remember the other part where she was, where you were like.
Yeah, no, I told you that one as well.
Oh, fair enough.
You've just forgotten.
I did.
Because it was longer ago.
It was so longer ago. But
yeah.
And you know, I had a lot of fun in Toronto anyway. So, it was.
Yeah, there's a surprising number of interesting YouTubers just in my province. Like Logic lives here.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Armored Skeptic.
Ha! Awesome. Also, you are nearby. You were nearby J Dark, eh? He was there for up to quite recently.
Okay. I don't know exactly what city Logic's in, but I know he's in Ontario.
And you were also then you're also by Faith as well. Faith Faith was living at the time down with Marshall in Buffalo, but yeah, I mean going up there, I realized that it's not really all that far by your guys' standards, is it? Like it's like a day trip at most.
Yeah, I'd say so. And I know what city Armored Skeptic's in, but only because he says so himself. He's maybe a couple hours south from where Girly is, and she's within 4 hours of me. So it'd be half a day down to there.
So how do you want to proceed? Do you want to end it, or do you want to?
Let's do one more.
Okay, so let's have a look first. We'll see if there's any timed days.
The reward we have on this
Capital Defense.
Other mission here is crap.
Capital Defense. Let's get this over with, shall we?
All right.
Yeah, this is the Band-Aid. This is the Band-Aid.
Yeah. The last mission on the Space Hulk there was kind of pointless. It was just a corruption reduction item, and we're already all good on that. So.
Yeah, we'll get back to it. We'll do that tomorrow. We'll do that next week.
That's kind of whatever.
We might as well. It's missions. We're not feeling it now. We might feel it next week.
Maybe.
Okay, Diomedes, what do you want, big guy? Dude, I want to know about the Ferox Rift Crusade. I want to actually see what's going on there. Who are they fighting? They fighting Tau? Are they fighting Nids? Orcs? And does that mean that it's already in battle? Is that like a future level game? That'd be kind of cool.
I don't know if we're going to be getting any more of these.
No, we aren't. I hope in the future we see more Blood Ravens, but...
I mean, I would love to see a Dawn of War 4 that plays like this one.
Well, each Dawn of War, in all fairness, does try, even Dawn of War 3, try something new. So what would they be able to do for new for the 4th? Would it be like a grand strategy? Because that would be kind of... maybe
I don't know. Like
Total War?
I would like to see them return to this, though, personally. Out of the three, this was my favorite.
I've got more nostalgia for the original, the sort of Command and Conquer-esque sort of one. I kind of liked. I mean, I like this one too, of course. This one is definitely the most engaging of the three, I think.
Yeah.
And I think aesthetically is the best looking. Even like during the cutscenes for 3, it's just a picture. and occasionally moves. Here, like, look at the planet. Look at the way it just. It's just what could have been, you know.
Mm-hmm. All the random explosions is such a nice touch.
And I loved how the hive, when the hive attacks, like the way it's kind of like swarming over the planet, and I am zoning out.
Want to save this for next time instead, then?
I do kind of think we need to bring our A game to this. And
sounds like we're not in shape for this right now.
No, I'm quickly downgrading my grades of beef. You know, like I was a prime. I don't know if I was quite a prime cut at the start of this. Sometimes when we do this, I'm a prime cut.
Are you heading towards mega crotch level now?
Yeah, we're entering the dog food sort of quota of meat, and beyond that, I suppose we'll be entering the faux pas vegan meat if we keep this up any further. And we all deserve better. Although, you know what, I actually on that topic, I actually had on Wasted Wednesday, I made myself some fake meat burgers and mixed it in with some guacamole for the sake of it, and it was actually quite nice. They had a sort of tang to them I kind of liked, and they like almost tasted like beef, almost.
I actually find it hilarious that the replacement fake meat stuff is getting so close to the real thing that vegans actually don't want it.
Yeah,
because it actually tastes too much like beef. It puts them off.
Yeah, so there are aspects of vegans who just they don't miss beef. They don't miss meat, rather. They just want it all like they want like a whole new thing. But the thing about like fake meat is that you can get it in a whole bunch of different flavors. So
yeah, I can imagine.
Most people will want fake beef. It's like you know the vapes that are meant to get you off smoking, and you get ones that taste like nicotine, but there's no nicotine in it.
Right.
But you can get it in other flavors too. You can get mint, which is the only one ever I would actually have. You can get like bubble gum. You can get any of them really.
There you go, bubblegum hamburgers.
Bubblegum. Well, it wouldn't be hamburger. It would be more like just veg burgers. Veg burgers. Veg burgers. Bubblegum veg burger. Oh, what a nightmarish dystopia we live in. Corona, killer bees, murder wasps, actually, aren't they? Murder bees, murder wasps. TikTok kids.
Actually, they're hornets.
Thank you for enlightening me on that front. Doesn't make me want to smash a table over your face when you talk like that. No.
Actually.
I'm just trying to help.
I like that meme picture they have of actually guy.
Yeah, the one with the buck teeth and everything.
Yeah. So it's so on point.
No, there's two things on that topic I want to say. Number one, Linkara from Top the Fourth Wall. He had a character that used to hang around with Brad Jones, would appear on Brad Jones's stuff and Fellion's stuff, and he was called Actually, and he had this big form, and he would just like he'd correct every single thing, and his counterpart was Toby Fair, who would come in and go, Toby Fair, that's not really what they were aiming for here. Actually. And then we're just cut back to Cinema Snob going, I don't like these people.
I like this Toby Fair thing.
Toby Fair, yeah. Like, and he's very casual and kind of like forgiving, and he has like sunglasses on. But,
sounds like a chill guy.
Oh yeah, he was absolutely he was definitely an enabler. I'll give you that. But the other one I want to say is on the same topic of the actualies, DFF. If they did a preview of their Wes Anderson I forget, Wes Anderson versus I forget who the other guy's name was, and they started off not with that, but they looked at their Reddit, and there's a guy on Reddit who is pissed off that he uses that TJ often uses the word factoid incorrectly.
Yeah.
And like another word as well, like three other words, and they had this whole little thread of like, they said it here when it actually means this. You know, it actually means this, or like how they use literally in a non-literal way when they use the word literally.
A lot of people do that now,
and like people
they use it to mean figuratively.
Yeah, and Paul just went like, you know what we have to do? We have to go and do an entire episode where we just say factoid and literally like 50 times incorrectly. So I'm hoping the next episode will just be that. Will just be constantly them making like incorrect grammar after incorrect grammar.
It's literally the factoid episode.
There you go. There's their title. There, get on board.
Yep.
Send them a tweet or something. But no, like those people can just fucking die. I mean, you see how
literally shaking right now.
Yeah, I'm literally shaking. LOL. Oh, what are you literally laughing out loud? No, I'm factually laughing out loud. But like those people are just fucking crazy, especially with me, where I kind of ramble. I mean, God, I call my streams live energy rambles, where I just go blah, 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 when I'm drinking. Jesus Christ. It's why sometimes guests aren't good for me, you know. I'll just interrupt you every 5 seconds. Yes, but 20 hours later. And that's why I don't like that particular type of cheese. Were we talking about the planet Neptune? Yes! And as you can see, then I'll go back and explain my entire thought pattern. Oh, I might one day just do a live stream where I'm not actually like live. I'll record it. And it's just me rambling off shit in my mind for like 2 hours straight and just see where the shit lands. Like it'll just be this.
There are entire YouTube channels that are just people blathering randomly and nothing ever makes sense. Yeah,
it's pure gibberish. I'm actually now thinking, is there anyone I follow? I know Charlie once he once did a video called like the saddest youth. No, that wouldn't count. They were on topic for all their depressiveness. They were on topic. I imagine King Cobra does that a lot. I imagine he goes off on fucking tangents during.
Yeah, he kind of does, doesn't he?
Also, I imagine Jared.
That guy's got anger issues too.
Oh, dude, he does. He does. But like, he's also like completely in denial of who he is. Like, I know I'm a trash garbage person, but I'm kind of likable. Like, I'm the good type of I'm the type of hobo that will spin you a tail and you'll feel safe around. Although I'll probably still try to bum some booze money off you, you know. But you know, King Cobra is the type of person who lives in like an old abandoned like shack, and he doesn't know why the world is shit. Well, the world's shit because you're a piece of shit. The world's actually quite fine. It's you who's got the problem. It's kind of like Jared Genesis logic going on there, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Or the Beast, or
completely unself-aware. Yeah,
Brett Keane to a degree, I guess.
Absolutely.
We could do a huge list of people. Shani would be another one. I don't think she really gets why she gets so much hate. And G-Man, yeah,
Shannon, you tell him, yeah,
Shani, yeah. Did you see do you see this girl do a makeup tutorial dressing up as Shani? Well,
she really that was really accurate.
And she had that.
The thing with Rev is like I always make fun of Rev because he constantly looks like he's sad all the time, but then again, he's married to Shani. Of course, he's sad all the time.
I think we talked about this before, but did you ever see the video of him almost ODing on screen?
No,
like it was. He's in like his car and he starts rambling for like 20 minutes on something completely like random, and then suddenly stops and opens up the car door and you just hear him getting sick. I think he'd taken like PCP or some shit like that, and he was having like a bad trip. But yeah, like they absolutely like fucking like they're not in a great place. But hey, at least they have each other.
At least I think that's the source of most of their problems, actually.
Yeah. What's it from Rick and Morty? They're codependent. Oh, eat my ass! Eat my ass! Yeah.
Red almost seems like the kind of guy who could be a chill, decent person if he didn't have all these other problems going on.
Yeah, I think even if Shani was leave him. In fact, at this point, I think it'd be worse if he left them. If she left him, because it would just be so much. Like he would so probably fall into like bad habits. He'd probably like just he'd appear on every stream completely sloshed and complaining about black people.
He would rapidly implode as a person.
It would be it would be like an unfunny version of what's happening to Blade right now. But yeah, like there's a lot of people online. The problem with being online is that a lot of people are very talkative, very open about their shit. I'm open about my shit, but it's not really anything that I'm ashamed of. And the stuff I am ashamed of, I'm not really like I see them more as like learning lessons. I see them more like like you got to know this shit about me. Here's a reason why, for example, I'll talk about incels because I can be a very lonely guy until I actually pulled myself up, gave myself a bit of a clean, went out, got laid. It's not all that complicated, folks. And what's more, they want friends. Well, I've never been short of friends. Real friends, too, not just randos off the street. People who are complaining about the alt-right. Well, I used to be a fucking skinhead. I have some words to say on this shit. And I'm not proud of that. I'm not like, huh, you think you hate Jews? Let me tell you something, son. Back in my day, we didn't
you
fucking
don't know hating Jews.
Yeah, hell, back in my day, we used to wear that shit literally on our skin. You know, I don't have any tattoos, but I was seriously thinking, I'm so glad I didn't. I'm so fucking glad I didn't. You try to explain that to a girlfriend like you're taking it off. Oh, here's a fucking swastika. You know, hey, Dylan, do you have any tattoos? Yeah, but the bouncer's a black dude.
Oof.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, I don't do this sort of thing in pride. I do it as a lesson. Like it. That's why I can turn around and say, you can get out of this. You can move on. You can learn from this and help others, and it's great. But you know, I tell people this shit, but there are other people who would then just keep on going, like, I jacked off 3 times last night. Wanna see? Like hold their fucking cum rag up and shit like that. Like, there's limits. There's real limits. You gotta know not to do, not to say.
For sure.
Hell, like, dude, I don't even know your fucking name, and I think, I actually really respect you for that because, like, it's a level of anonymity that once you say it once, you can never get it back.
Like, people just overshare shit sometimes. You gotta not be doing that, you know?
Are you a very open person in real life, or
pretty much generally, yeah. Like, and even things about my life that I don't talk about online, it's not even necessarily that I'm trying to avoid sharing stuff. It's just like, well, that doesn't seem like it would be interesting to anybody. I won't bother mentioning that, you know.
I don't even think of it like that. If I was like, oh, so I saw a pretty flower today, you know, like I might just randomly say that. But yeah, it's just
yeah. But you don't try to make it into a 10-minute story though.
No. The only time I ever ramble on is when I'm trying to. I don't even know when I'm an Aspie. Basically, when I'm showing my Asperger's, and I can't really.
Your Asperger's.
My Asperger's, and I don't really like know when to switch it off.
Delicious.
They are the best burgers in town, and you can get them in vegan flavors too.
I actually know a couple other guys with varying different levels of Asperger's to them, and one of them's got it much more severely than the other one. Like, if you get him going on a topic, you will you will have to cut him off because he will not stop.
And if you ever have you noticed that like they're almost offended and enraged that you have?
Yeah.
I do the same. I've had to learn to kind of stop that. I've gotten into genuine arguments because I wanted to just, especially when I'm like drinking or when I was like younger, like I just couldn't. I needed to get this shit out. To a degree, I'm doing it right now, and like that's fine because I know the context is fine. Like, for God's sake, anyone.
Yeah.
But yeah, like some people, I think some people like need handlers almost. You know.
Some people certainly do.
You know, whatever. But I
Jared.
Oh, who wants to handle that?
Absolutely nobody.
He's gone. At least he's gone. He's not coming back. Or has he actually come back yet?
I mean, he's gone and come back before, so he's probably going to again.
Yeah, he's got a very Brett Keane vibe in that respect.
Although I don't think Brett Keane ever did come back finally this time.
Well, no, he's back. He's generally back. We talked about him.
Okay, people have just stopped giving him attention this time. Then.
And I including myself, and I think that's a great idea. He's desperate. He always tries to call out fucking TJ and DP and the death of the drunken peasants and things like that, and like no one cares. He's not even he's not even a troll bait anymore. Yeah. Like trolls.
It's funny actually because while the drunken peasants is a much smaller thing than it used to be, view count wise, its community is much less toxic now.
Yeah, and I realized most of them didn't even all go over to DFF, especially with TJ becoming more and more liberal. They've just kind of gone off to other places. Like they've all dispersed into the winds of the internet. Now, a lot of them, of course, also did go over to DFF, but again, like I really enjoy the DFF communities that I'm a part of. They're not really all that bad. It's like it was almost like a few people were just egging on everyone and bringing out the worst in everyone.
Yeah, I think so. And I'm not really familiar with the DFF community because I don't really generally read comments, but I know that DP still interacts with their live chat a lot, and they seem to be pretty good people mostly.
Mostly, mostly come out at night, mostly. But yeah, like I mean, we all got. I imagine you've got one or two people who pop into your chat, and you're like, in the back of your mind, you're like, oh shit. And then you try to like be polite, or you've even blocked them before.
I've only got one person like that, and they don't show up very often.
He's not ruggedly handsome and Irish by any chance, is he?
I can't stand that guy. I mean, I didn't say that. No, no, it's just always good when you show up. It's fun.
Yeah, I kind of wish I started to show up more. I mean, hell, everyone's trying new shows and doing new things, and I just don't have the time of day if I want to watch everything. And while also
I know, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, I wake up in the morning and Vosh is a 2-hour-long video where he's talking to Vermin Supreme, and I'm like, fuck yeah! Then I look and there's also DP and DFF, and I gotta do this, and that's just today. And along the way, Arch uploads a video, and Brad uploads a video, and
then, you know what? America needs to get off its ass and elect Vermin Supreme president.
He definitely. This is the first time I ever actually listened to him talk, and he sounds really cool. He's also the sort of person who will never get elected. It's just.
But you wish he would, though.
Yeah, but of course, if we had the power of wishing, the world would be a lot better.
I feel like underneath all the trolling, he's actually a smart guy.
Oh no, he talks to Vosh about that. He says he plays up the trolling because it's a great way of getting his message across, his real message. But like that's why he wears the boot on his head, because it's optics. Yeah. It's stuck in your brain. You recognize Vermin Supreme from a mile away. Look at all the suits on stage.
Do you think boot on head is shoe on head's uncle?
More like his cool uncle. But might also explain why Shoe gets along with Vosh, because Vosh got along well with Vermin.
There you go.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, so I think we should wrap this up.
Did you ever play that tower defense game that has like Shuan Head and Sargon and stuff in it?
I have not. You could see, yeah.
It's called Sargoy of Cuckad.
Oh, Jesus. Was this
I don't remember who made it.
Did it happen to appear in the hollowed halls of 4chan by any chance, or like Kiwi
I don't know,
Farms?
because I've never appeared in those hollowed halls myself.
I used to only ever use it to see nudes of people's girlfriends.
But
then I realized most of them were probably revenge porn. I'm like, oh no, I feel bad for this erection.
It's actually not a terrible game. Like, it's not great, but it's all right. But it's like the different characters have different abilities in the game, and you're defending yourself against waves of SJWs.
Speaking of, I'm going to say this now on the screen. I don't know who's honestly still listening at this point, but if you're gotten this far, thank you so much for watching. But before I go, tomorrow I will be streaming Fallout. Wait, was it Fallout or Red Dead? I'll be streaming one or the other, and Luca will be joining me. But then Monday we have our another modded Monday. But, and this is important, for Wasted Wednesday, I am finally going to be tackling the Drunken Peasants role-playing game. The updated version.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Skeptical Jesus just uploaded the latest version. So I am so down to giving that finally a go after all these goddamn years. It'll be definitely something that is a long time coming. In fact, I've been threatening to play this game now for probably as long as it's existed. Which is interesting because it coincides about the same time as my channel. Like I've the game's been out for as long as my channel. It's about 2 years old now. But yeah, so we'll do that. So that's Wasted Wednesday. That's gonna be a hell of a Wasted Wednesday. And of course, I'm not gonna give you anything on Sunday. I've got to record the footage for Modded Monday. But I approach the audio differently this time. I kind of fucked up the audio. It wasn't the best. But anyway, so with that said, Krendar, shill time for yourself. What are you doing, good sir?
Really chill. Well, last night I started playing this bizarre little game called Planet Alpha, and I'll be trying to finish that game up tonight. It's pretty fun, actually. It's a little bit like Limbo in a way, except bright and colorful, and you're running around this weird alien planet while robots and things try to kill you for some reason. It's a very, very beautiful game, actually. So I'll try to finish that up tonight. And then next week I'm going to be starting up a co-op with a friend of mine who's also a streamer. Goes by Unlucky Desperado. We do co-op stuff every once in a while. And we're going to play some Guacamelee 2 co-op together.
Ooh.
Which is fun because he's half Mexican, so that's kind of on point for us.
He'll be able to say he'll give you permission to use the beaner insults.
No, he absolutely never would do that. He'll do them himself though, probably.
That's our word. Only we could call ourselves lazy beaners.
Exactly. I'll have to call him a lazy neighbor.
That will work. If he watches DP, he might get the reference.
Yeah, no, we need to get a neighbor equivalent word for Mexicans.
Southern neighbor. Caramel neighbor.
That sounds more like Spanish, like people from Spain.
Taco neighbor.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, taco neighbor. But that opens up the floodgate. So that means you're maple syrup neighbor.
Maple
syrup.
It reminds me. You ever played those XCOM games?
I sure did.
Have you seen the new one that came out, Chimera Squad?
I sure did, and it looked like shit.
It's pretty fun. It's not as good as XCOM 2, but it's fun in its own way.
I like.
But one of the squad mates you get is one of those snake people.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point, she meet the person running the squad is a Canadian, It's just like Canadians. Oh yeah, that's right. Those are the maple flavored ones, right? And it's like, you're talking about bacon, right? It's like, yeah, that's a kind of bacon, sure.
Honestly, I
think during the war she was actually eating people.
Yeah, very nice of humanity to not just butcher every last alien still left on the planet.
True. Although it has been, the story is that it's all currently relegated to one specific city that's being used as a test case, rather than just instantly integrating everybody into everywhere.
Or we could just use them as a slave force or kill them. Let's go all 40k and let's have XCOM 3
Yeah.
as it'll just basically be Chaos Gate 2.
Honestly, though, I kind of like the idea of how you get to play as some of the alien races. So that's kind of, actually, the mutant and the sectoid on the team are two of my favorite characters because they're just badasses.
Well, you should stream it sometime, man.
I don't know. It seems a little slow paced to me.
What's his name?
I don't generally. I try to avoid doing turn-based stuff too much on the live stream.
You know, the only turn-based game I ever played on here that got negative feedback was BattleTech.
Wow.
Yeah,
I think people would like that.
I thought so too. I was really enjoying it. I admitted that it was a bit slower than even like say Chaos Gate or XCOM, but no, people were like, "Wow, this is dull," and I'm like, "Really? Giant robot just fell over," and they're like, "Yeah, after 40 turns of moving." And
Probably a little dull to watch, I would guess.
a little,
maybe.
It did rekindle my love of the BattleTech universe. I'm currently going through, a guy on YouTube is reading off all the lore of the BattleTech universe, which is huge. There's a lot to take in. Not as much as 40k, but it's still massive. And when I was a kid, I played Mech Warriors 2 on the PlayStation 1. That was an ugly but awesome game. I was too advanced for my little brain at the time. I didn't quite grasp how to move around, but occasionally I could fire a missile shot off and blow up an enemy, and I was like so happy with myself. And there was even a TV show, a really bad one-season TCC cartoon show, where all the robots would die, but the people would be fine inside it. None of the crews would be killed.
I remember playing the first Mech Warrior game on PC, and I would take like a fast mech and load it up with like multiple machine guns, and then just run around and target everybody else's knees.
Yeah.
And just like, I go up to a mech twice my size and just saw its legs off with 6 machine guns simultaneously.
I like 50-50ing it, where I'm on one side I'm a, oh no, I should really stop. I'll want to re-download BattleTech. I'll just say that I learned the value of aiming for the legs, so you can salvage better mechs than you have, or sell it off for more profit, because the actual pay you'd get throughout the games wasn't worth for shit. But you could get salvage, and a lot of times if you were very smart in how you killed them, like let's say you killed off the pilot, or you killed off the or you just simply disabled the mech, the salvage you'd get, oh fuck yeah, that was some good shit. Especially mid-tier game onwards, you get mechs that were just like 500,000 credits in value, and you'd get like 6 of them. Pretty quickly you'd upgrade the ship that you were on until like your ship was just this floating palace. It was some good stuff. And then the accents happened, and the accents made me feel sad, because a lot of them were Irish and really bad. That actually almost rhymed. Ooh, look at the times.
So what are you talking about, laddie?
And with that, we will wrap up low energy videos for another time. Krendar, as always, you are a great disappointment to your family, bringing great dishonor. You must commit.
I'm used to it.
You must commit Canadian version of seppuku, which involves a hockey stick.
I must commit Sudoku.
Good old Sudoku. Sudoku.
Did you ever see that meme, by the way? There's like a samurai lying on the ground with a Sudoku puzzle carved in blood on his chest.
I was actually thinking more like, when they're kneeling down and they're they're like kind of crushed over.
Yeah.
But instead of him, like, it looks from the back first, and then it looks on the front, and he's just over like a little piece of paper doing a Sudoku again. Death by Sudoku.
Nice.
All right. Thanks everyone for watching. You know what to do. Like, share, and subscribe. See you all tomorrow, where Luca will take the reins off this Canadian silly boy. Until then, you all take care, and see you all again.